Who's ready for a shellfish song? It's me, the ukulele, and here we go. This song is called Clam Chowder 12579. Clam chowder, clam chowder. Sing a little louder, clam chowder. 1276. Clam chowder, clam chowder. We're gonna take a shower in clam chowder because we're clams.
Hello, this is Jessica Fletcher. I'm sorry I can't come to the phone at the moment, but I'm busy working. If you'll please leave your name and number, and I will get...
Jess, you do not have an answering device. Talk to me.
Seth, what's wrong?
Winnie is here, in my house.
Well, why are you whispering?
She wants to stay here. She's afraid of her husband. Jess, do you hear me? She wants to sleep here. Help me.
Seth, look, I feel sorry for Winnie.
Winnie, what about me?
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 101 of the Cabot Cove Confab podcast. This is Sean.
Hello everyone, Steve.
And this is Caleb.
Who?
Yes! We are joined with another guest. My apologies to David and Dante. I know we would have them on, but it just turned out that today was the perfect time to do this because we were supposed to get together and record with Eric and Isaac for Caleb's Novice Elitist podcast. We were going to talk about the Return of the Jedi, then Isaac couldn't make it, then Eric couldn't make it, so Steve's like, let's talk about The Thing. Okay, cool. And the John Carpenter The Thing. And then it was like, you know what, why don't we do Cabot Cove Confab? Because your schedule is such, Caleb, that if we tried to do this with you, we basically have to, you're impossible to schedule it. You're a very hard person to pin down.
Sadly so. Yeah.
So before we talk about who threw the barbitals in Mrs. Fletcher's chowder,
I love the title.
I think it might be the longest title, and I think it's also very, very fitting. But we'll get there. And let's have some pre-show banter.
Hello, bonjour, buenos dias. Good day, guten tag, konnichiwa. Ciao, shalom, dobre dien. Hello to all the children of the world.
Can I start?
I guess. If you want to.
I actually have a lot, so like I don't know. I saw some films. I saw one in the theater, the first time I went to the theater in a long time.
Oh.
I saw Heretic with Hugh Grant.
Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to
How was
see
that?
This movie it's one of those movies where it's one thing halfway through and then it turns into another thing the other halfway through. And I wasn't too pleased about that. Hugh Grant carries this whole fucking movie. He's fantastic in it. I would think that he's going to get a Best Actor nomination, but of course it's a horror movie, so people don't like to do that. Except for when it was Silence of the Lambs, but in The Sixth Sense, there's others. I just can't think of what they are. But it was mostly okay. It was above average, and it was a really clever idea for a movie. Except there's moments where it sort of steps that fine line from like a psychological thriller into a supernatural horror movie, and I didn't like that.
Oh, really? They took that twist?
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird.
It's not like it doesn't turn into like, oh, aliens have landed or anything like that, or there's ghosts here or anything like that.
All right.
But I don't want to spoil it, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, how was old
Okay.
Hugh? Was he? Did he deliver for you?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was excellent. They even had a picture of young Hugh in it. There's a picture of him with his dog in the living room. The young, like, 4 Weddings and a Funeral Hugh Grant.
Oh.
Yeah. Then I was on Shudder, and Shudder is making a lot of documentaries. They made one about black horror a while back. They made one about folk horror, giallo, and they have a new one called King on Screen, which is about the movie adaptations of Stephen King stories. I fucking loved it. I love Stephen King, and I think I love Frank Darabont even more. And one of the best stories, Frank Darabont, of course, he's made 3 Stephen King movies: Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, and The Mist. And so apparently he wrote the script. It took him a few years for Shawshank Redemption, and he wanted it to be produced by Castle Rock Entertainment, which is the production company created by Rob Reiner, what he made Stand By Me. And he was like, okay, I think I want to make this, Rob. Instead of you paying me for this script, I think I want to take it elsewhere and make it myself. Rob Reiner was fine. Rob Reiner wanted to have Tom Cruise in the main role. Doesn't that sound awful?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good movie. And then I saw one other movie, and then I'm done with pre-show banter. Well, I'm done with my pre-show banter. This is also on Shudder, and this is another documentary, and it's called Sharksploitation, and it's a documentary about shark movies.
Okay.
I was in pig heaven. They do, of course, spend a lot of time talking about Jaws, but they also spend a lot of time talking about, like, those silly sci-fi movies like Sharknado and its progeny. But my favorite thing is that there's a glaring problem in it. Somebody tells the story. There was in '69, before Jaws, there was a Burt Reynolds movie called Kane, where he played a treasure hunter named Kane. Well, the story goes, there's, of course, in all these underwater exploring movies, there's always sharks, like with the deep, and yeah. And apparently, legend has it that a shark got loose and killed a cameraman. They kept the footage and then used the footage in the movie when somebody gets killed by a shark. Ooh. Life magazine did a huge story on it. They changed the name of the movie to Shark! !
Oh, I've seen that.
Yes. And Life magazine did this huge spread. The movie did very well. When Jaws was released years later, they re-released this fucking movie and called it, I can't remember what they called it, but I think it was like Maneater or something like that.
Sounds right. Yeah.
And this whole thing is just, since this movie came out, I think Life magazine put out a statement that said it's all a hoax. We just did it to give the movie publicity.
Right, marketing, sure.
Yeah, and Life magazine, I thought you were better than that, but whatever. Okay, so those are my picks: Heretic, King on Screen, and Sharksploitation.
So which one was your favorite out of the 3?
King
what did you
on
enjoy
Screen.
The most?
King on Screen, I really enjoyed. It should be Heretic, but just learning about these movies that I haven't even thought of in years is really, like Cujo. You remember Cujo?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to scare the hell out of me, Cujo. When I was
Really?
a kid. Yeah.
I haven't seen that since I was a kid, and I remember it freaking me out. I wonder if it would have the same effect now. Like,
Yeah, maybe he would just look cute. It's like, oh, he's dirty, needs a bath.
oh, that poor dog. You can kill the little kid. I don't care, because I don't like little kids in movies, so I would probably be cheering for Cujo.
Yeah,
Run
that's what
faster,
happens in the
Cujo!
book. The kid dies in the book, but in the movie they let him live because, movies.
Yeah, just since you mentioned King, I was going to bring him up during this episode, because all these accents was making me think of reading those books, like Salem's Lot, I was just trying to picture how they would all talk reading those books. It sounds very similar to this, I'm sure.
I'm trying to think of all I can think of in terms of the movies is Herman Munster and Pet Sematary. Sometimes Dad is better.
Yeah, there you go. Is that Herman Munster? Oh man, I didn't know that. God damn
Yeah,
it.
Fred Gwynn. I think that was probably his last film.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you mentioned Frank Darabont. Of course, we covered The Blob maybe like 2 years ago on my podcast. And
That was Frank Darabont?
Yeah, he wrote that one, and a bunch of his regulars showed up. Yeah, I always liked Frank Darabont.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. But the beginning of the movie, it starts off like a regular movie rather than a documentary, and it's like this short, like 8-minute piece with this lady coming into a small town in Maine, and there are all these stupid references to Stephen King, like somebody's walking to St. Bernard. There's a shop with stuff in it called Creep Shop. Yeah.
What was the name of that Castle Rock shop where you go in and you find all the antiques and stuff?
Needful
Needful
Things.
Things. There you go. That's what it should
Yes.
be called.
Yeah, actually, it said Creep Shop, and then underneath that, it said We Sell Needful Things.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I jumped the gun.
Yeah. So, any pre-show banter from you guys?
Well, Caleb, you want to go next?
Well, not fully pre-show banter, but I did just want to say, Sean, did you say this episode 101 for you guys? 101?
Yes.
Hey, that's a big deal. Isn't this, I can't remember if you guys got to over 100 episodes and anything else that you've done except for TARDIS Tavern, right? Or is this the first one?
Did we in Columbo Confab? I'm trying to remember.
No, we only had maybe about, not including the ones that we did with you, Caleb. Oh, that's right. For those of you who subscribe to the Columbo Confab feed,
Combat
you
feed.
will hear us on Caleb's podcast, Novice Elitist, talking about Columbo. So anyway, what was the question? The gummies started
100.
kicking.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 100.
Have we reached 100 on any other previous podcasts? I don't think so.
We did with the TARDIS Tavern.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's the only one. So, hey, look
yeah.
at that. Look at that. There you go. Yeah, it's an accomplishment.
100
And we haven't killed each other yet.
101, and we haven't even done half of them yet.
Oh, my God.
No.
It's like
after
260 something.
Oh,
after we did Columbo, I think we steered. Did we do something else with
yeah, should we
the
watch?
Netflix series,
Yeah.
Sean, or was that
Netflix.
before Columbo?
That was after.
Should we watch on Netflix?
Yeah, that
That
didn't
was a
last very
fun
long.
show. Yeah, it didn't.
No, it wasn't. No one listened to it.
I listened.
we had 5 viewers. You were one of. So.
Yeah.
But I would always cheat at that one because I'd pick movies that weren't even on Netflix.
Yeah.
Steve followed the rules, so he would pick the sci-fi movies from Netflix.
And they were pretty bad.
But like, oh man, have you ever seen a movie called The Fourth Kind? Just don't.
Oh, or that that CM Punk Cum House movie where the walls were like cum was coming on the walls. I still remember that. And I was like, God damn these guys.
Oh. The house that dripped cum. Yeah, yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, that was so bad.
That
That
was
was
awful.
my fault.
Yeah. That was a Sean film. Well,
Yeah,
speaking of Netflix, last night I was excited about the Netflix exclusive Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. I don't know
no.
if either of you guys care.
You're joking, aren't you?
No, I was very
Okay.
excited to go see it. And I didn't realize it was going to be a 5-hour
Oh
long
my God.
presentation. See, I believe it started at, is it 7:30? Something like that. And man, they just dragged on and on. But the bad thing was that the streaming service was like having serious problems. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but
I heard a bit.
anybody who was watching it, it just was slow down. It would stop. And when trying to watch something in sports like boxing, it just ruins it. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it was funny because during the bout, the main fight, when Paul and Tyson were each in their corner between rounds. They Netflix threw up a commercial for NFL games that are going to be picking up for this holiday. I guess Christmas is going to be a couple of games, and I'm like, they just fucked themselves, because watching this is if it's a proof of concept that you cannot stream a live sporting event. It was horrible. And then I couldn't watch it. Eventually, about 10 or 11 o'clock our time, I finally gave up. I couldn't watch it anymore. So I'd have to stop. I would have to log out of Netflix, log back in. Then I would have to fast forward to go to the live feed button. Didn't figure that part out until much later. But so I got up like early this morning, because I swear to God, I woke up listening to some YouTube stuff, and they were already talking about the fight. And I'm like, God damn it, I can't listen to anything. So I got up early this morning and watched it, and went to YouTube immediately after that to see what everybody was saying. And a lot of people were saying the same thing, that they were having trouble with it streaming, which I thought it was just me at first, but apparently it was the entire world. They said it got better towards the end, but I think that's because people started dropping off. Like, they just gave up.
I'm over here rubbing my hands like Montgomery
I can
Burns.
hear you.
Why is that?
Sorry. I'm sorry that didn't work out for you, but do you remember back in the day, everybody was like, don't buy DVDs no more. Don't buy Blu-rays. In the future, everything will be streaming. It'll come right to your house. Yeah, we got rid of cable and expensive cable bills. Now, to watch what we really want to watch, we have to have 200 different channels. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like bad news for me, Steve, because I'm a big wrestling fan, WWE.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I heard that. Oh, yeah, I heard it's going to be like Monday nights. They're going to start doing that, so it's going to be a...
Yeah.
Now, let's say fix it, which I'm sure they'll put some money into it. I can't imagine after this event that they wouldn't put more money into something like this, but it was still very disappointing. I mean, I cannot imagine people going to a bar to watch the fight, and it just... You know what I mean? It just would have ruined that whole night.
About that, yeah. Oh, that's
you know? And it was interesting, and I didn't know this until when I was watching the fight, that it was here in Dallas. It was at the stadium where the Cowboys play.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, as I think Sean knows. But I'm not surprised, because the owner of the Cowboys, Caleb, I don't know if you know or care, his name is Jerry Jones, and he's probably one of the most evilest sports owners.
Sounds like a villain,
Yeah. He's done some bad things, like he used eminent domain to buy up the homes where he built his new stadium, where the homes were kind of a poor neighborhood where these people didn't have much in the first place, and so he basically made them homeless. Because obviously with eminent domain, you don't get paid market value. I think you get. Well, a lot of people. These were not fancy homes. These were he got them. From what I remember in the news. But anyways, the Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl since the 90s, like 93 or something. And all because of him. I blame him, because I think he, as a general manager, he's horrible. But the Super Bowl...
Eminent domain, an exercise or a move that's almost used like exclusively by governmental entities.
Right, to like make roads or something like that. Not a fucking stadium that is so gaudy looking. Anyways, so the Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl since the early 90s, and the Super Bowl did come to Dallas about 5 years ago, I want to say. I can't remember who was playing, but everybody was excited. Dallas was on fire, just extremely happy. We're going to bring some big business in. So a lot of like restaurant owners, bar owners, a lot of local businesses borrowed heavily, invested into their places of business, so for the influx and get ready for all the people that were going to come in for the Super Bowl. Well, that was the year of the great winter blast that came through and froze over Dallas, where there was like maybe 3-4 inches of ice on the road all through North Dallas. You could not drive. You couldn't go out.
and Texas completely lost its shit.
Yeah, we lost power, if I remember correctly. Yeah. You
Ted
couldn't.
Cruz went on vacation.
Ted Cruz left the state to Cancun. But I mean, like, no, you couldn't go to work. You couldn't go out. People didn't even come to Dallas. Like, they just canceled their flights. But with the Super Bowl, some went to the game, but they didn't do anything else. They stayed in. So all these businesses just,
Damn.
I don't know if they're still in business after that, because they invested heavily, borrowed heavily. But anyways, I always figure, because Jerry Jones is evil, my theory is that he at some point sold his soul to the devil, and the devil is reaping. Well, he's collecting what Jerry owes him. And so the fact that this Netflix thing happened at AT&T Stadium, the home of the Cowboys, this is just the devil collecting what is due to him from Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones is so fucking evil that it would only happen to that son of a bitch. And if you ever see him, Caleb, he is a scary looking man. His nickname in Dallas is Skeletor. He literally looks like bones with skin. Oh my God!
I'm looking at him right now.
He's so creepy. He looks like a creepy old pedophile. It's.
Shots fired.
Follow me for more recipes.
82 years old. Looks like he's just crawling to the grave. He's barely limping along. Yeah.
And
So
I think as soon as he dies, I feel like the Cowboys will have a turnaround. Or as soon as he sells, or he's not going to sell the Cowboys, but he's going to have to die. He's
Yeah, prosperity will
Sounds
find
like
like
a
Dallas. All those businesses will open up again. Yeah.
Sounds like a really good plot for Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. The only way you're going to get rid of me is you kill me.
starring Bruce Jenner, and yes, that is a thing. They have a sports episode with Bruce Jenner in it, and Dick Butkus, and a couple other sports.
That's one with the is it the blind daughter or something like that?
I think so. I watched part of it.
And she's driving a little golf cart on the stadium, and Jessica's like teaching her to drive. And like, but she's blind. Maybe she's not blind. Maybe she's deaf. I can't. No, she's deaf. It has to be deaf because she was blind. That wouldn't make any sense. And why am I laughing at some poor child's disability? I'm sorry. I'm going to hell. Oh, great.
Oh, there you go.
So, are we ready with pre-show banter? I think the listeners, the readers,
ready. We're done.
Okay. All right. All right. So before we talk about who threw the barbituals in Mrs. Fletcher's chowder, which I'm just going to call this Mrs. Fletcher's chowder. Oh, that doesn't sound good.
No.
I want to ask Caleb. Caleb, what is your history with Murder, She Wrote?
I really don't have too much history with Murder, She Wrote. Unlike Columbo, I didn't have a partner that was a fan of it. My mom would watch it every now and again, and I would sit in the room, and I would kind of chuckle along. I always thought of it as more like a sillier murder mystery show, especially compared to like CSI and the stuff that my mom enjoyed that I just could not stand.
So we picked the right episode for you.
Oh, this is definitely yeah.
Well, you have the
So
DVDs. You said
I sure
so.
do, yeah,
I
bought
figured.
the pack for you guys' podcast. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, wait.
Oh.
You did. When did you buy this?
Well, when you guys first
A year
started this
ago.
podcast, it was all available on Amazon.
Oh, how
Prime.
cool!
And
Yeah.
then it went away after like 2 months, and yeah, it was maybe like a year and a half ago that I went and bought the set so I could catch up. But you guys put out the episodes quicker than I can catch up, so I've been behind for quite a while.
What is your favorite episode that you've seen?
Oh, geez, favorite episode. What was the one where there was another version of her who was an actor? Was it like?
Oh, that's it.
Broadway
That's her.
Melody,
That's her. Yeah, it's. Yeah, I think it's. What is her name? Holy cow!
Whatever that.
Is that
one
Mirror
was.
Mirror on the Wall?
I can't.
I know what you're. Oh, that's the one we did with Jade. Is she the one that claims that she had a kid with Jessica's late husband?
No.
the other one was an
There's
actress, and yeah, she like fakes her death partway through, and
she's Jessica's cousin from
Jessica's cousin, thank you.
from England.
Oh, okay, we did that.
that
Okay,
was
yeah.
really
Yeah,
with
she
Olivia-
fakes her own death, because she feels like someone's coming after her, and it's obviously it's just Jessica with a Scottish accent, or is it Irish? I can't remember.
Yeah, she earns it. She can use the Irish accent.
Oh
It's
sure,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
she
that one's
can-
just fun as hell. I really enjoyed that.
I have. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's hard to think of another favorite because there's definitely been a lot of ones in here that have felt a little bit like duds.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, there's got to be.
Yeah. No, I'll just stick with that one. Yeah, I think that was my favorite.
Okay. You named one. Good.
Yeah.
Well, there's others that are, Murder Takes the Bus is really good.
That is a good one.
Snow
That's-
White,
yeah.
Blood Red is really fun.
That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rise up.
No, it's like
Death Goes Double Platinum. That's Sean's favorite.
did not like that one. It was horrible. That
Because
made
he
me
was so
angry.
depressed. He thought it would be with a boy band, but it wasn't. It was something else.
Well, the trailer made it look like it was like Menudo or something.
Right? Was that what you were wanting? And then you were like, "Oh, that's not what I thought." You gave it like
Yeah.
1 out of 10 or something like that. I don't
Like,
remember.
damn it! I wanted Ricky Martin. Where's
Is that what
Ricky
you wrote?
Martin?
Is that what you wanted Ricky Martin to be killed, or did you want him to be the murderer?
He does not kill or get killed. He just adopts a bunch
Oh,
of Thai
he's
children.
Jessica's friend, right? Okay.
Oh yeah,
Or maybe
Jessica
Jessica's
always is a friend.
second cousin from South America or something, like from Brazil.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
indeed. Oh man, I'm craving a tuna omelet right now.
What? That's gross.
No, I
does
bring
sound
that
gross.
up because there was that episode where she heard a murder. She was bedridden with a bad back, and it was she overheard a murder, and
Right.
her nephew Grady. It was
Grady.
inspired by some old movie, and Grady just kept cooking for her, and he made her a tuna omelet.
I only
And
know.
she
I
did-
only knew how to make tuna or something.
For some reason,
Tuna pot pie, tuna omelet, tuna casserole.
I mean, tuna casserole's good. Tuna pot pie sounds like it, but tuna omelet, I'm gonna say no. Of course, Amos ate it. He's like, well, I'll eat it. I love tuna, and I love pie even more.
I like the impression there. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yeah. I went to the Colleen Camp
sounded-
School of Acting.
Sounded more like Floyd than Tucker.
Floyd
Tupper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is in the what I like to call the I didn't know that he came. I thought he was already gone by season 4, but this is during the Amos Tupper era.
Yeah.
Because you've got 3 eras of Murder, She Wrote. You've got Amos Tupper. You've got Ron Metzger. Is it Metzger?
Metzger. Yeah.
Ron? Yeah. And you've got New York.
Mort
Because-
Metzger. Ron is
Mort,
played by
there we go.
Ron. Oh shoot. See, we're a great
Start-
Murder She Wrote podcast. We can't remember.
No,
the
it's
names.
Ron Masak. Because I
Masak,
looked him up.
that's right.
I looked
Yeah,
him up today.
Recently deceased. Yes.
Yeah, he died like 3 days after Angela Lansbury.
Yeah.
And what was really depressing was he put out like, a statement like, I'm sorry to hear of Angela's passing, and then like 2 days later he was dead too.
Yeah. It's sad.
So this is a pretty Amos heavy episode, and by the way, this opens with a lady named Winnie getting off the bus, and she's being followed by some sketchy guy. This scene was filmed on the Universal Studios set.
Yes,
So
you
as
don't
far as
say.
I know, you can go see it. And if you look, you don't have to look too closely, but it's there. The orca from Jaws that lived on the Murder, She Wrote set for quite a while. Well, one of them that was used anyway. It's going back to sharksploitation.
There you go. There you go.
Did they bring that up in this documentary, Sean?
No,
You're like, I
they did
knew
not.
that.
But they brought up alligator. I like that because one of my favorite creature features is alligator. Scared the fuck
That
out of
thing
me
is
as a
fun as
kid.
hell too.
They-
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
and
scare
I,
me
to
today.
I will never ever swim in a pool at night ever because of that movie. Almighty.
Yeah, I will say, inspired by your old TARDIS Tavern, the travelogue thing that you guys did for a while. Me and Isaac for years have been trying to put something like that together. And we had planned that we
Uh-huh.
were going to do an episode with the two of you in a sewer where we review Alligator.
I forgot we did that. Oh my god.
So one day you guys will get an email. Yeah, meet us in the
Where
sewer.
did we where did we travel? Yeah, we went to different locales to record. What do you remember, Caleb? Where some of them were?
I remember one time you guys found yourself. At first, it seemed like you're in the Amazon jungle, but then it
Oh,
turned
no,
out
I
that you
know
were
what
just
you're
like an
saying.
Amazon
Oh,
warehouse, but it just looked like a jungle.
Well, that's actually funny.
Another time, you guys
I didn't
thought
remember-
that you were in a jungle, and you were like, "Oh, these are weird rocks that we're sitting on. They're so squishy
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and moist and strange,
Oh,
and they smell
God.
bad." And then at the
No.
end, it was
Oh, I know where this is going. Oh,
that
Sean
you
gave me
had
hell
Fuller
for that
House
one.
As pants at a Gallifrey.
Yeah.
I
Sean
got
was not a fan.
complaints from my Austin Doctor Who friends for that.
That was
That
pretty
is so
gross.
disgusting.
That was pretty gross.
And I'm sure you were quick to blame me too, Sean.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
that was Steve's
Something's your
idea.
fault.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Yeah, and I loved
So,
I loved in that
with-
series too that every time a podcaster would die at the end. Oh, and Toons is a cat. Remember that? You're in the cab with
Oh,
Toons.
we were being driven by Toons as the cat.
That was a great one. Oh my god.
I forgot about the podcasters dying at the end.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
that was yeah. It's like, oh, I want to go in the TARDIS Tavern so I can swear and die at the end. And
I can
Oh
I can just hear us now screaming at the end of Toons
Oh.
driving off a cliff.
what I like the genius idea. I went on vacation and Steve had me regenerate into Eric
That was great.
from the Doctor
Yes.
Who
Oh,
book
oh,
club. Yeah, and then at the end, I guess he hit his head or something, and he regenerated back into me. That was very cool.
That was such a great podcast, by the way. The TARDIS Tavern.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
People ask, where can I
thank
find
you.
it? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can't-
Yeah,
You can
I've
email
got
me. I've got all
copies.
the
Steve.
episodes.
Oh, you have them too? Okay.
Yeah, I've got them all. Still listen to them. I actually listened to that one with Eric a short while ago on Battlefield. That was a good episode. But
Oh,
We
yeah.
lost. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was the we lost
We
one
did-
of those people,
oh yeah,
yeah. David
Huh?
Keep.
That's quite
yeah,
sad.
Rest in peace.
Professor Dave.
What? Oh, yes.
David Keep. Yeah, you
Yeah,
took a
yeah,
sabbatical
that's right.
to become a monk, and I did Ark in Space with David and Elizabeth because they hosted Professor Dave's Ark in Space.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
anyway,
thanks, Caleb, for bringing
Yeah, let's
this
lighten the mood,
podcast down. Well, okay, so this episode,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So the person who plays Winnie, did you guys recognize this actress? And
I did
Maria?
not. She, I looked her up though, and she played. I think she played one of the old people in that movie Awakenings from 1990 with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro.
Oh, really? Oh.
Remember that? Yeah, that was one of her
Well,
last movies.
I was just
and-
going to bring up that she was Jerry Stiller's wife and Ben Stiller's mother.
Really?
Whoa, what the hell?
Well, that's just interesting. I did not know that. Wow, that's some wild stuff, Ed. Wild, wild stuff. Well,
I mean,
in
she's
town.
obviously gone. She's gone now, but I think she pre-deathed Jerry Stiller, which I think Jerry died like a year or two ago.
Pre-death.
Pre-death.
Pre-unalived.
Oh no.
she unalived Jerry quite some
I
time
hate
ago.
that term.
I do too. It's just like, hey, we're going to prove that we're woke podcasters. We're going to use the word unalive. But unfortunately, YouTube needs to change. Anyway, don't get me started on that.
Sure.
Turns out that Winnie is Amos Tupper's sister that we
Younger.
never heard of before.
Yeah, younger sister.
Younger
And
sister.
and we find out that she got all the looks from the family.
Yes.
By the way,
She's the smoking hot one.
yeah, one of the things I do vaguely remember from being a kid is watching Murder, She Wrote. Is always just thinking like, wow, everyone on it is so old. All the central characters, are just old folks. But
I wonder
it's
how
charming.
old. I wonder how old everyone. I look at that, and I know people back in that generation aged much more quickly, or they look older than they were. Like Sean and I were in our 50s, and I feel like if we were
You're in your 50s. I'm still 49.
Turns out that Winnie's.
Well,
a pretty
excuse
shy
me.
kid.
Apparently, Sean felt that was important enough to interrupt me for.
It's the gummy.
But my
stuff.
point was that I feel like if we were from that generation, we would be like gray hair and all wrinkles from smoking and, liver
sunscreen.
spots all over our body. And
No, we'd be the Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets.
Oh, I'm gonna be bringing them
That's
up
who I
later.
wanna be.
Hold off on the Muppets. I got a lot to say there.
So, oh god, this episode is kind of fucked up in a way. So Winnie has just left her husband Elmer.
Elmo, not the Muppet.
Elmo. Oh yeah, Elmo. That's right. I
Let's
have
hold
to
off.
mention.
Yeah, I can bring that up later.
Okay.
I really wished it was the Muppet, to be quite honest.
I got some things to say. Yeah.
He's the one that was in Airport 1975, by the way. He played somebody named Colonel Moss.
Oh.
Very handsome man in his younger years.
Oh
too.
yeah, if you look him up on IMDb, he is a really handsome guy.
Yeah.
He did not age well.
No.
He's I couldn't even recognize him from this episode from what is posted on IMDb.
Yeah.
He put on a lot of weight, grew a really scraggly beard, which maybe for the part, but wow.
I was thinking George
Yeah,
R. Martin.
his-
Looking at him.
He does look like yes. That's a very good comparison.
His photo, his headshot on IMDb is like from the 40s and smoking hot, dude. Anyway,
Well, a lot
I'm sure
of
he looked like.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Sean.
Yeah, I'm sure he looked like that when Winnie married him.
Well, and a lot of the actors, when you go for like Murder She Wrote and you go through the cast list, they all have like their headshots from like the 40s and 50s. Like William Wyndham, who plays Seth, he's young and healthy and I wouldn't say he was handsome
That
like
reminds
Guy
me-
Stockwell, but it's just interesting because you see all their young faces when they were like just young starlets and stars and.
I think William Wyndham aged better than most of them because when you see him in Columbo, because he was in the first episode of Columbo, which
yeah.
we're gonna go there again, and he was in the episode with Roddy McDowell with the
Right.
exploding
With
cigars.
exploding.
He's one of the three people. Yeah, I think
He was good in that.
looks better in his older age. Yeah.
I thought he looked. In Columbo he looked still young, and I thought he looked good in that. I don't know why we were comparing how William Wyndham looks, but that's my fault. But anyways, where were we?
Tom Bosley's looked the same since he was 13 years
Tom
old.
Bosley, yes. Yeah.
I was gonna.
What was it?
Tom
Glad trash bags?
Yes, that's right. He did the
Get
trash
mad,
bag commercials.
Get glad.
He was
I was
father.
With Winnie when she shows up, I do like how much she's like she's laying it on thick. Like, oh, you're too busy to hang out with me. I guess I'll just walk along the sea cliffs by myself and trying to think of the greatness of my life.
Yes.
Just
God.
no shame about just laying it on.
Yeah, but who can blame her, really? I mean, it's not every day that you leave your husband. And I think there was some physical abuse there.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Yeah, they
implied.
sure
They
skirted over
implied
that.
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But what do you want? It's 1988.
And not only that, good old Elmo had her followed by a PI, which is what you see at the beginning. She's being stalked or followed by a guy. What was the character's name? Ed
Ed Bellamy.
Bellamy. Yeah.
Hey, that sounds
I
like
wonder
a
if he's
film
related
noir kind of name at the end. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bellamy.
Well, Bellamy is also there is a gay Czech porn company. I'm sorry, Eric. Czech Republic porn company.
Eric.
Well, none of us are named Eric, but okay, go on.
Yeah.
It's called Bellamy, but it's BEL
Well,
and then AMI.
this is a little bit too much information here, Sean, that you're revealing. Yeah.
It's probably the most famous gay porn company in the world. It's
Okay.
been around forever.
Well.
Yeah.
Learning so much tonight.
But I wonder if he's related to actor Ralph Bellamy, who is in
The character?
Porn
no,
star?
the actor. No, the actor.
Oh, the actor's
You
name's
bring it
Ed
right
Bellamy.
back.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I thought it was the character.
Porn stars can't be actors.
Oh no,
now?
you're right. You're absolutely right. I am so sorry. You're right. It's the character's name is Bellamy. My bad.
Okay,
My bad.
Okay.
I don't know what the actor's name is. But he's like this character, like every mystery has one, like the guy who can't be the murderer because it would
Yeah.
just be too obvious.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So Amos is mad because his deputy quit yesterday. And
Yes.
he has to
I
answer
wanna
the
talk about this.
phone. And this is interesting because there was exactly the same problem in If It's Thursday, It Must Be Beverly, but
Well,
it was Seth's secretary that quit.
No, it was no. Yeah, Seth's secretary quit, but yes, in that episode, which is this season, but it was like episode 4 or something like that, early in the season. There was a deputy who was fucking all the women, put it bluntly, all the bachelorettes, in Cabot Cove, and what he would do, one of the
Bachelor.
yeah, one of the codes that when someone would call in and want his services, they would call him to the sheriff's station and say, "My cat's caught in a tree," and the thing that that Sheriff Tupper says, "Your cat's caught in the tree." Well, I'm sorry, he doesn't work here anymore.
Oh, that's awesome. I forgot all about that. That's genius. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they want their
Implying
few
that the guy who,
callbacks.
if you use that code to have this deputy come out and ring your bell, he was no longer there.
Ring your bell.
That's an old 70s
Yeah, this is
slang.
interesting. He says he's hiring for a new deputy, but the very next scene, he's got a deputy. Deputy Andy?
Grover.
Grover. That's right. It's
yeah.
Grover.
Grover. We got Elmo and Grover. Oh
Yeah.
my God! I didn't
Yep,
catch
exactly.
the Grover. Where's
like,
Deputy
like-
Cookie Monster? That's what
Yeah.
I want.
We have this. That's what they would call Seth. Seth is actually he's Pie Monster. Pie. Jessica got some coffee. I've got some pie. Yeah. You know what? And you know what? It's like, okay, we're gonna have this character. He's only gonna be in this one episode. He's young. He's handsome. What do we call him? Grover.
I should do a really
that-
pretty good Grover impression. Man, I think I'll save it.
Hey, you guys!
Yeah.
I always liked it when Grover was the waiter serving the blue
Yes.
guy and
The,
who'd
fl-
always-
the fly in the soup. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, sir. He won't eat much. Because Grover is basically Yoda. Mine. Hey, you guys. Frank Oz.
Do you guys remember? I'm going to be real brief about this because we're getting way off topic. But
Yeah.
there was a children's book that I used to love. I was probably
I know,
like 5 years old, and it was like, "Are you afraid of the monster?" Or it was like Grover on the page. He goes,
was-
"Don't turn the next page because there's a monster."
There's a monster at the end of the book.
Yeah.
I loved it too.
And when he got to it, it was Grover all along. He was the monster at the end. But the whole book, he's like freaking out. He's like, "Don't turn the next. Please, God, for the love of Christ, do not turn the next page.
And
We
as you
will
turn-
all die."
As you get deeper into the book, well, deeper for a kid's book, like there's more and more junk that appears on the page. Like the book is getting wrecked because the monster's ruining it. And of course, the whole time it's Grover. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So
Greatness.
I forgot where we were.
Yeah, I think we were
with
just
this.
heading over to Jessica's place. And
Oh right.
Oh yeah.
So
this
So
was-
yeah,
oh, damn.
we found out that Winnie left Elmo, and she needs a place to stay, and so he, good old big brother Amos, like says, "Yeah, you can stay at my place, but I'm real busy. I got to drop you off at a friend's house." And basically, he takes her over to Jessica's to unload his sister to Jessica, and poor Jessica,
Is there anybody you'd rather be unloaded onto than Jessica Fletcher?
Oh, I'd love it. She'd make me some pie
Oh,
and some tea.
Sounds like there's some other meanings to that. What Sean said there.
Oh,
Maybe.
God.
But I was gonna say this is where the Muppets come in, and I don't know if I was just going off the rails, but when I saw Jessica at the typewriter just hacking away at it, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta work on my book. I gotta work on my book." I don't know if I was just going crazy, but I started picturing Ralph from the Muppet Show, the dog, at the piano. It's just I couldn't stop seeing it. I don't know why.
Not to be pedantic, but I believe his name is Rolf.
Rolf, thank you.
R-O-L-F.
Yes,
Rolf the
Rolf.
dog. I never liked him as a kid.
No.
I always,
Why?
Like,
I liked him playing the piano, but yeah, there's not much there.
yeah.
And then even the joke when he comes in, she's like, "Oh, I've never met a writer. I'd love to read one of your books one day, if I can find it at the library." I was like, that
Yeah,
feel like a
that's not
Muppet
what you
joke.
said.
Like, that
No, you don't want to tell a writer who lives off the sales of books
Exactly. Yeah.
that you want waiting for a free version of the book.
Or what if said writer was at a convention that you enjoy going to, and let's say said writer is Andrew Cartmel, and I'm like, I'd love to buy a copy of your signed book, and he's like, okay, and it's this trade paperback, $50, and of course you're not like, that's too much, and you walk away. No,
He's like, "I'll sign it for you. Here
That'd be
you go."
rude.
Yeah. Right before you buy it, I'll sign it for you. Yeah.
Does the autograph come free with the book, or is that extra?
I think, you know what? I think it was $50 for the whole thing, but it came with postcards.
Oh.
What happens next? Oh, yes, we dump. And Jessica, I'm really glad, Caleb, to hear that you've sort of been watching along with us, more or less, because if this was your first episode, I'd be afraid that you'd think Jessica was a total bitch. Because when Amos brings his sister
be.
to her, she's really angry because she needs to finish her book. But Amos is probably doing the right thing. I think that he did the best thing. So what does Amos do? He calls up Seth. No, I'm sorry. Jessica calls up Seth because Winnie doesn't have... What kind of medication? It's for an ulcer.
It's for an ulcer, yeah.
Yeah, and I can't remember
Which
what
either.
which has barbitol as one of the main ingredients to it. I can't remember what she called it.
Yeah, and
Which
I
will
didn't-
come in
I don't
later.
even know what. I don't know what. Anyway, so Seth takes a liking to her. So you got a little bit of Golden Bachelor moments here, and it's actually kind of cute because you never really see Seth pine after anybody except for the way he pines after Jessica, which is a total platonic relationship. Except you know that they porked once in the past.
Porked?
Like you know that he
You mean
put
like,
her
you mean
up on
like
that.
she made like pork sandwiches and he came over for barbecue?
I'm
or
sure
what?
he-
What? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have loved that afterwards. Jessica, can you round me up some pork sandwiches
Jessica?
and some coffee? Jessica.
After we pork, can I have your pork sandwiches?
Then she gets to clean the kitchen afterwards, and he complains. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. God forbid, Seth. Gotta do dishes. Really?
I didn't go to school
And
for
then
this.
Amos shows up. He's like, while you're here, why don't you help?
This gives him the workload. So there's a B plot going on too. Can we discuss the B plot?
Oh boy.
Yes.
The new deputy. So Amos, because the other deputy who is known for
Wait,
sleeping around.
Steve.
Yeah,
Let me ask you, do you know who that actress was?
I do. I know. I can't
Okay,
talk
go
about
ahead.
her. So we're introduced to somebody who's applying for the job. Her name is Marigold Finney. Yeah, so I did recognize her. It took me a while because I was staring at her. I'm like, I know she's done something outside of Murder, She Wrote. And it took me going to IMDb, but she was... Caleb, I don't know if you ever saw these films, but she was in the Police Academy movies.
Oh.
Well, that's not what I was going to go to, but I vaguely remember seeing some of those. I never cared for them, but
So, well, yeah, she gets hired, and she goes, I have my own uniform, and I'm like, that's hilarious because she's from Police Academy, but her character was the one who started becoming romantically involved with Tackleberry. He was the gun nut in Police Academy. Don't know if either one of you remember Police Academy. I
haven't
those films.
seen one of those since my grandpa took me to see Police Academy 4 in the theater.
Oh well, that was that by that time the series had gone downhill. But
Yeah.
she kind of played she's a police officer that falls in love with this gun nut police officer named Tackleberry. And he's so obnoxiously into guns, like he carries around like a Magnum and instead of a normal service revolver, and he loves like blowing things up. So she she very much plays the same character that you see here
Okay.
in the Police Academy films.
She was in another film, Steve. Do you know what it is?
Yes, I do, but I want to hear you say
He's doing
it.
this on purpose. No, Caleb can sit. I'll give Caleb the honor.
Well, before I get to that obvious one, I will say she was giving me some bad flashbacks because earlier this year I watched over on my Novice Lee's podcast. We covered Game of Death, and she shows up as the romantic interest during that.
Oh
movie.
my! You did that movie?
Yeah.
I love that fucking movie.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Death, you like that?
Yeah, Joe Bob Briggs did it a couple months ago, last season, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll give it a shot. And I'm like, oh, 1970s. And Steve, this is what this movie is about.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is a tangent, but
Sure.
the readers may want to know. So there's this guy, his wife, he lives in this really nice house. His wife goes because his son's having an operation, so he's going to be home for the weekend. Well, these two women, one of them played by Colleen Camp, show up at his front door. They're looking for a house. They're at the wrong house, and it's raining outside. So he's like, come on in and dry off, have some, coffee, whatever. And 10 minutes later, they're
What do I
having
do?
sex. They're having sex in the bathroom, in the sauna.
Nice.
Or in the hot tub.
Sean, you're
And it's like the long...
you're
Oh.
getting confused. That's Death Game.
Oh!
I think they came out like the
Shit.
same year. She was in Game of Death and
Oh.
Death Game. Yeah.
Oh,
same
fuck me.
time.
Okay.
Game of Death is the last. It was like Bruce Lee died, and they hobbled together a little movie of him, and they like insert his face, like just images of his face on a random actor, and it
Oh
is
my
just
God.
horrible. It was a nightmare. Kind of like this episode is for Amos later on. But, oof. So I was getting my skin crawling, just remembering the uncomfortableness watching that.
But in this, I mean, 3 years before this came out, she was in the other movie that I'm sure you're on the tip of your tongue, Caleb. She's like hot.
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, in this scene, when they open the scene with her, she's got her leg, like she's like showing her legs off. I mean, it was.
Hey, maybe she actually does have a thing for game movies, because we just mentioned two ones with game in the title, and then in a movie that's based off a board game. Yeah, that's getting weird.
Would that be Battleship?
The Battleship, that could have been it.
The Liam
on
Neeson
movies.
film, like from 10 years ago? Oh.
Is it Monopoly, the movie?
Is there a Monopoly?
Oh. I see what you're doing
Is there
now.
another
Okay.
board game
It's
based
Clue. I think there's only two.
I think it's Exploding Kittens that she was in. Yeah.
I would watch that animated movie. I think that could be fun.
And then the sequel, Choking Hazard, which is a sick, awesome game to play when you're drunk with your friends.
Yeah, and
I
Clue is
haven't
a
heard of
sick,
that one.
awesome movie to watch with your friends as well. Yeah, Clue's just
Yeah, yes it is. Oui, oui, madame. No, I just have to powder my nose. So yes, Colleen Camp, who plays Marigold in this, was Yvette the maid in Clue, where
I
she
know, and
busted out.
I didn't I was, when I saw that on IMDb, I had to really think about it, because I would not have put those two faces together from Clue and this. I at least I don't remember her. I remember that the maid being extremely attractive. I'm not saying she's not attractive. Oh my god, I should
Yeah,
shut up
maybe
now.
it wasn't the face that we were looking at in Clue. Me and
Maybe. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, Colonel Mustard. In flagrante delicto, remember?
Oh, but it's interesting,
Um,
Steve, you mentioned that Police Academy thing, because, her style of performance in this feels in line with, that kind of comedy. Like, it's a
So
bit-
have you ever
it's a bit
seen any...
much.
Caleb, have you ever seen any of those films, or not at all?
Sadly, I think I have seen more of the later ones. Yeah, I used to catch them on TV when they would play them. I don't know if
Yeah.
they still play them now, but...
The first three, I mean, it gets worse and worse. It's kind of like the Jaws sequels. The original's the best. Second one is not so bad. Third one, it's got some new characters in it. It's not bad. And then after three, I think it's just like it drops off a cliff. It's
Hey, I don't know. I think Jaws
But
Revenge
hey-
is better than 2 and 3. That thing is fun on a bun.
what? You think Jaws Revenge
Okay.
The fourth
okay,
film
Caleb.
in Jaws
All right.
is better
Okay.
than Jaws
You have to
2.
Jaws 2
You
is
have
too
to see
bland.
that
Too bland.
Sharksploitation movie. You have to see that.
I
Caleb,
mean, I can
because
kind
they-
of see it against Jaws 3D.
Ellen Brody, she's convinced that the shark is out to get her, and it is.
It is, after all.
Doesn't it have the body count of like 2?
Yeah, something
like,
like
it has like the. and in the book, there is a novelization, and in the book
Of Jaws
apparently
3D?
it was.
How does
It
that
was
work?
apparently-
Do the words come out off the page? I'm kidding. Go on.
It was possessed by like
a demon?
holy man or something that had it out
what?
for the
Right,
Brodies.
voodoo. That's,
Yeah.
John.
I don't
Yes,
remember this.
Voodoo.
Was that in the movie?
It was in the novelization of the movie.
They,
Oh,
they
okay.
wisely cut it.
I don't remember that at all.
But you have to see Sharksploitation because there's a movie who's an actual marine biologist, and she says that guiltily that's kind of her favorite Jaws movie because it's kind of like a slasher movie except with a shark, which I don't know what the fuck. Show me a slasher movie that has a body count of 2, you know?
Happy birthday to me.
Anyway.
Or no, what's that one?
Oh, that's got a
What's that
bigger
one?
body. That's the one with the scarf, right? You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
There's one.
It's
there's
funny.
One who's got the guy from Back to the Future, Biff, and at the end it turns out that it was all just like a prank that they were playing on one character. So you walk away and it's just like, oh my god, no one actually died. The whole thing was just a fake. I was so choked. I wish I could remember what that was called. I guess I just spoiled it.
That wasn't
It almost sounds like a precursor to Scream or something.
or April Fool's Day.
That was it. You got it right there.
That's it?
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
yes.
either.
Still a fun
kinda
movie,
pissed me
though.
off too.
Still a fun movie.
Because I really enjoyed watching that until the end when it. And I don't think they're pranking one person. I think it's the one girl pranking everybody. Anyway, this is a spoiler for April
Sorry,
Fool's
everybody.
Day.
We'll cut that bit. No,
I-
Sean won't. He doesn't cut this.
No,
part.
he
I
doesn't.
Doesn't
think
like it.
spoilers for April Fool's Day have passed the statute of limitations.
Yeah,
I think it's
1986. Come on, if you haven't seen it by now, what the hell's what's wrong with you?
So, anyways, back
But-
to Murder She Wrote.
Okay. So wait, I do want to
But-
ask you something. Mary Gold is. I'm going to call her Mary Gold because she
I
does
like
have a
that
really
name.
cool name.
Yep.
Mary Gold Feeney, and she's not. They're not trying to pull off the dumb cop thing, kind of they do with Deputy Floyd later on.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe they were trying to write in a permanent supporting character.
Oh, wow.
But there were things like, why does she have a southern accent when she's from Maine? That makes no sense at all. She had like a Georgia accent.
Yeah, I could not see her
Wow.
working long term. This is a one-off gag at best.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't make coffee. She doesn't type. All she does is clean her gun, which would fit in a line with the Police Academy. That had to be a
Yeah.
gag for people who like those films.
Now that
because
you're
that's
saying it, I
again
can definitely see it.
exact character, exact same character. But I
She's
thought
the early equivalent of Maurice's girlfriend from Northern Exposure. Nobody knows what I'm talking. Excuse me. Nobody knows what I'm talking
I've
about.
seen a bit of that program, but it's been since the time that I last watched Police Academy.
yeah,
so.
like 20 or more years ago.
Maurice was Barry Corbin in Northern Exposure. We love Barry Corbin.
Maurice, was he the owner of the town?
He was the rich astronaut guy that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, that guy,
outskirts. Yeah.
Did you guys like some of the early political correctness where she's like, "Oh, you're not going to hire me because I'm not a man," and he's all uncomfortable, shaking in his boots.
It's
Yeah,
true.
Well, I thought it was funny. I didn't know that Sheriff Tupper was sexist. That's
There you go.
because there's a few things where he says like, "Oh yeah, we had a woman working here once, but then her husband forced her to stay home and back to where she belongs in the house," or something like that. I'm like, whoa,
Slipped it right out.
hot take from Sheriff Tupper.
He's even like, "Oh, my sisters have marriage issues. Let me just push her off another woman. You know, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
They can talk about lady
Well,
things over there."
Yeah, they talk about your lady stuff. You talk about your knitting and your never mind. I was
Spousal
going to go
abuse.
somewhere really gross with that.
Your tuna omelets.
Your tuna omelet.
Your fucking empty bird cage. I'm gonna see
Oh,
if
no.
she's got that bird cage in her living room. I have never seen a bird in that cage. I think
No,
she
there
just
is.
had it
There
up
is.
for decoration.
There is a bird.
There
in
is?
it. There has been. I don't know if it was in this episode. I did see the cage. I didn't look close enough for the bird. But the funny thing is, and Caleb, I don't know if you ever noticed, but whenever there's a pet, they give them the most obnoxiously stupid names. Like, I'm going off memory, and I'm probably wrong, but it would be something like the bird would be named Birdie or Chirpy. The dog's name would be like Barker or something like that. You know what I mean? They always
It would be like the satanic forest animals in South Park. My name is Chickadee, Chickadee, praise Satan. You know what I'm talking about? No,
The
nobody
vaguest of
knows what I'm
memory.
talking about.
Vaguest memory.
Okay.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Praise Satan! They're the little forest woodland creatures, Caleb. They're real tiny and cute, big eyes, and real fluffy, but they all worship Satan.
Yeah, that doesn't sound so bad.
And their names are like, there's a deer named Deary, there's a chickadee named Chickadee, there's a dog named Doggy, stuff like that. And they tear people apart. Anyway, sorry.
Yes, where are we?
Winnie's family arrives in town.
Wow, I feel like we're all over the place tonight.
What's the name of the actor who played Elmo, by the way? Mr. Handsome.
That was Guy
turned-
Stockwell.
There we go. This was his second to last role. You know what his last role was? Columbo. He was in the episode Columbo Goes to College. And it said that he plays the club owner. And I have absolutely no memory of who that could be. But
I don't remember that either. Club
Yeah,
owner.
you said second.
I mean, I like that episode.
this Murder, She Wrote was second to last, and Columbo was his last.
Because I remember that episode. It's not a bad episode for a late Columbo. I don't remember the club owner.
Yeah.
I remember that they would take Columbo to a restaurant and stuff like that to try to get him off. The two boys that were the killers, the college kids.
Maybe that was it. I'd rewatch the episode, but really, who has the time?
There you go.
Actually, I kind of want to see it again. Actually, I liked it. I don't typically like the later Columbos, but that was not too bad.
Well, Sean did say last time we did a Columbo batch that he was going to pick some 90s episodes next time. So keep that in
we can
mind,
do that
Sean.
one.
There you go.
So back at Jessica's house, she's having tea. Jessica finally feels bad for not talking to her, I guess. And so they make tea, and they're talking about Elmo, and we find a little bit more about Elmo's disposition. And this is where it's hinted that Elmo has probably beaten her when he gets mad.
Yeah.
I forgot what the words were exactly to it, but what we kind of learned is that he recently changed. He's now become he became more forward. He started talking funny about taking over the world, joining MAGA, and lashing out at folks randomly, stuff like that.
Careful, we have some listeners who maybe
What?
MAGAs.
Did I say something that wasn't?
Yeah, never mind.
And take over Sesame Street for good. Kick out Big Bird. Yeah.
He's HBO, yes.
But anyways,
He's
we find out
Mitt
that
Romney. Sorry.
Okay, we find out that Winnie can't find her ulcer medicine. She has to take it before her meals every day, and so that's how they call Seth, and that's when Jessica unloads poor Winnie, or I don't know, poor Seth, I should say, unloads Winnie onto Seth and walks off. And leaves this guy. I gotta go. She's yours now.
Yeah, I'm going to go finish my book.
It's like nobody wants to deal with Winnie. Not her brother,
Fair.
not Jessica, who loves everyone, and Seth was at the end of the line. He's the last. He's like last hot potato.
What they all really need to do is just check her into a hotel room, and then once everybody is done working, just go out for some Mexican food and margaritas. That's all. Old people love margaritas, I think.
There you go. I think so.
I love margaritas. Are you saying I'm old?
And they'd be like, "Ooh, we're having ethnic food. How fun!"
Yeah.
This
Ooh,
is the
what-
only
what-
Mexican restaurant in 200 miles.
Is that a tamala? Oh, I would love one of those.
Seth would be like, do they have pie?
What kind of Mexican food do you think Seth would like? That would be up his alley. Probably tamales. I could see tamales.
Yeah.
It's got that corn outer shell
Do they have any
with the
clam
beef in the
chowder
middle
type
or pork
thing?
in the middle.
I can see him having that. Chowders.
Oh, that sounds really disgusting. I had Mexican food today, and I ordered tortilla soup, and it was really plain, and had just a huge glob of cheese in it, and I think it was more like Mexican rather than Tex-Mex.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Sounds like they
nobody
use
needs to know
cheap
that.
cheese too. When it globs up like that, that's usually the really cheap cheese.
There you go.
Yeah, it wouldn't have
Yeah.
surprised me. So,
What do you think?
Fine. Yeah, okay. So it's not Parmigiano Reggiano, is what you're saying.
Yes. Columbo's favorite cheese.
Yeah, but what do you guys think?
Okay,
of
we have
Winnie? Are you enjoying her running around annoying everybody, or you kind of like, when are we going to get to the murder?
I feel like I have relatives like her.
Yeah, I think everybody does. Everyone
Like you
has-
run away from like during the holidays, during Thanksgiving, you kind of like, I'll sit at the table over there. Like,
Yeah, if you're walking down a hallway and you see them coming the same way, you quickly find something else to do. Skirt away from. You don't want to get alone with them.
so-
Next thing you know.
oh, is that
Yeah.
my phone? I'm sorry. I gotta go,
I just
Winnie.
got a call. Yeah, I can't stand here for 20 minutes.
Oh.
We talk my ear off, and
Winnie, my colon is about to explode. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
oh, jeez.
I've got to go, or there'll be explosive diarrhea everywhere.
Yeah, gotta shit my pants.
Got some
Sorry.
bad Mexican food. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to mention, this did kind of inspire me to go back to working on my diorama of Jessica's kitchen, because there is a lot of kitchen stuff in this. There's lots of scenes in that kitchen, and you can see a lot of stuff, including at the back door, there is a coffee grinder that is apparently upside down. And it was upside down for like the first couple seasons or so until somebody told them, you know, that coffee grinder's upside down. And then
That's
they turned
hilarious.
it around. It's a wall-mounted coffee grinder. It's my grandma had one like it.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Huh.
Winnie's family arrives, and boy, oh boy, wow!
What a
these
piece of
people-
work. Yes. Oh my god. No
this-
wonder they're all fucking dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. There you
Yes.
And
This is the thing. This is a little bit different from like Poirot going to a dinner party with all these fancy rich people. Like this is like the exact opposite of that.
Yes.
And these people are so rude. But
Yes.
yeah.
I want to talk about the actors. And Caleb, you should recognize one of them.
Oh, yes.
Did you recognize
Yeah,
one of them?
I actually had in my
Okay.
notes. I was like, "Hey, if this feeling like a Muppets episode to me, where's the celebrity of the week? Where's Elton John? You know, who's gonna show up?"
Okay.
And then I was like, "Hey, it's Jeffrey Lewis. Me and Sean, we just saw him a
Yeah.
few weeks back in Night of the Comet. He played the.
Oh, I thought you were
Japanese
going to talk about
scientist.
Henry Gibbons.
Oh, I got some things to say about him too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the poor man's Tim Conway, because that's who I think he is all the time.
Oh.
I was watching. He was in. I think it was The Devil's Rejects. Is that the second one? It's the second
Yeah.
one. And he played one of the victims at the hotel, and I when I watched that, I had to look up Tim Conway because I thought it was Tim Conway, and like, why is he in this movie? And I thought he was dead. You know what a Tim Conway is? Wait, how much is a Tim Conway? About 120 pounds. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, but he's sure
It-
he's looking aged here. This is only a few years later, but he's looking. Yeah, those wrinkles.
Oh, you're
are
talking
getting
about
even
Ken-
deeper. For
Jeffrey Lewis? Or are you
Yeah.
talking about... Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what he was in, and I forgot about it? He was in Salem's Lot, the original Salem's Lot.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah, I remember him.
He was
that.
in the
Wow.
rocking chair. Teacher.
Yeah,
Teacher.
it's those blue eyes.
Anyway,
I can
sorry.
remember those anywhere.
Yep. Sorry, Steve. What were you saying?
Oh, no. I feel like I've seen him in a lot of stuff. I just can't think of it. I'm looking through his IMDb right now.
Yeah, he's very prolific. He's done
Yeah.
a lot of TV. There's also
Oh,
that's Elmo's brother-in-law. What's the guy's name?
Kenny?
Henry Gibson. Henry Gibson.
yeah.
He's married to Elmo's wife, Flo.
Flo.
Oh my god.
What a biatch that one was.
Yeah,
Oh my.
what a
Oh
piece
my
of
god.
work. And very over the top.
This-
Oh my gosh, is she,
Mm-hmm.
she playing it
All
big.
these people. The title of this episode should be "How Not to Act When You're Invited to Someone's House for Dinner." She is the most rude
Oh,
dinner guest.
I was hoping that she'd get the axe. I was just waiting. When that
Yeah,
scene-
you wanted her to
Oh,
be the one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't she get poisoned to death? Oh my gosh.
And then, of course, we have Harold, the other brother. I've always loved him. Played by Henry Gibson. No, joke nobody got? Oh, gosh.
What?
Blues Brothers? Anybody? He played the
The Nazi.
bad
right?
guy.
Oh.
Yeah, the head Nazi. He's the one at the end. I've always loved you. And then the car crashes and they die.
Oh, I forgot that he was in that. Whenever I think of him, I think of the Burbs. He was the neighbor that everyone
Oh
suspects.
right.
Of being, like an evil scientist.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. I was trying to place a scene in my. Yeah, that's what it was. The
I think
Burbs
they-
with Tom Hanks. Oh my gosh.
I think they even think he's a Nazi. They're like, oh my gosh, his name sounds vaguely German. Ugh. Yeah, that's a great little movie, The Burbs. Kind of forgotten, I think, these days.
With one of the Corys, Corey
Yeah,
Feldman.
Corey Feldman,
Yeah.
Tom Hanks,
Bruce Dern.
Carrie
is his
Fisher.
name.
Bruce-
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher's
Bruce
in it.
Dern.
Yeah, that thing's a great little movie.
Huh. Is that
And
Joe
the-
Dante?
And who
Yeah,
was
Joe
the guy
Dante.
that was? Who was the? Who was the guy that was the mean uncle? Who had the heavy
Oh.
German accent?
Is that Bruce Dern?
I think, yeah.
No.
Well, now I'm getting confused, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure...
Well, anyways, yeah, it was a good. It was a good movie.
Oh, and I think Joe Dante actually, I think he used him again in Gremlins 2. I think he has like a very brief little cameo. They have like a sign that says no smoking, and then he's standing right by it smoking, and then they're like,
I still
cuts him.
have.
Wait.
I still have
Wait,
not
is
seen
it
that
Dick
movie.
Miller?
No, Dick Miller's like a regular actual character. This guy just shows up for one scene, and they fire him for
Okay.
smoking in front of a sign that says no smoking. It's supposed to be like the big brother of Clamp's company. Anywhere you are, they're filming.
I used to listen to Joe Dante's podcast, and I'm not saying that I'm Joe Rogan or anything, or that I affected the election, but I'm going to say Joe Dante's he's a horrible podcaster,
Oh.
and his co-host just talks the whole time. Could you imagine that?
He's not great on commentaries either, admittedly. I love the guy's films,
Really?
but yeah, not the best
Yeah.
in that regard.
Murder, carnage, death, film at 11. It's one of my all-time Piranha.
Oh, that's another film. I
I
was
love that
watching
movie.
that the other day. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Where were we?
So later that night,
oh wait,
Seth brings
okay.
brings Winnie
I'm sorry.
back to Tupper's home, where everybody's waiting for her, and
Wait,
And
Steve, you
yeah.
know what, though? I just want to
What?
say one thing. Do you know what Tupper has in his closet?
didn't notice what.
Tupperware.
Oh, come on.
Well, you again interrupted me.
Yeah, for
For
that gag.
that.
Come on. Bring better material if you're going to interrupt. Yeah.
You know, Eric and Kat would be much more sympathetic, and Kat would laugh at that joke. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Could be.
So it's funny because Elmo is inside, and he's like, "Is that you, Winnie?" And Seth is like, "Who's that?"
Is that a man? over
But anyways,
there? Yeah.
yeah, so Tupper's like, "Get lost or scram," and shuts the door on him, like, as he knows this isn't going to look good. This is going to look real bad. But yeah, Winnie and Elmo get into it. That's where she says she wants a divorce, and he says something along the lines like, "You can't get rid of me. The only way you're going to get rid of me is if you kill me." Okay, so now we know who's going to be the person murdered in this episode.
Yeah, and her look.
No problem.
She has the look like, okay, I'll take it under consideration.
That's under, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh.
And Flo's like, no one in our family has ever been divorced. Yeah.
Stuck up bitch.
Yeah, I really hated that character, and I looked her up. I think she's the only person. Oh no, Colleen Camp is still with us, but the actress that played Flo is still
it's
with
Barbara
us as well.
Rhodes. Yeah.
There you go.
What'd she do?
Good name.
Oh my
Barbara
God! Did
Rhodes
she
is
do?
Nyla. That's
What's
more
the name of-
fascinating podcast.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I'm gonna make a
looking
new
up-
podcast.
That's what we call it.
Steve looks up stuff on IMDb. It's just half an hour of, well, let's see.
Yeah, Eric too on the
And
Best
clicking.
Picture podcast. Just the clicking away for yeah.
Well, she did star in Rhoda and The Love Boat and Maude and What's Happening. Or
Are you
Happening,
saying starring
sorry.
or guest starring? Was she a
Guest
one-off?
starring?
Okay.
Sanford and Son. Boy, she did all the '70s shows. Tabitha. Oh, that was the spin-off. Tabitha was the spin-off of Bewitched, where it's the daughter.
Oh, really?
Oh.
They did a spin-off of that?
Yeah, I think it was one
that.
season though.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, she was in Columbo. She did 2 episodes
Who
in
did she
Columbo.
play?
She played a hostess in The Lady in Waiting, and she played Joyce in Identity Crisis. I can't.
Oh, I know who she is. She's the lady that worked at the carnival that took pictures. Do you remember? At Columbo goes, he finds a picture of Patrick McGowan and Leslie Nielsen together. She gets it for him, and he's like, okay, who's that? It's a fat lady. And like Columbo says something really sarcastic to her. He says, shows you what you can do when you try to do a good job. Like,
Oh.
I remember that. Yeah, she
Sounds
was.
fiery.
She was. Yeah, he was kind of snippy to her. Not my favorite episode, but I remember
no.
her.
No, I don't remember her from that. I gotta go back to that now.
Yeah. I will mention though, Caleb, you mentioned this when watching this. It's like, where's the murder?
Yeah.
Who's going to get murdered?
I want death and mayhem. Now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Caleb likes his
I'm
death and
seeing the-
mayhem early in the episodes.
I'm seeing Jessica. She's writing, but I'm not seeing the murder. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on?
You're seeing the she wrote part of the episode.
Exactly. There you go.
Just because like we really need a murder. Maybe I should host a dinner party.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's set up the tension here. So, after Winnie gets into a fight with Elmo, she runs out the door, and she runs to the I guess Seth lives nearby because she runs to his house and wants to sleep in his home, which freaks him out. I think he was fine with her. Like, he was kind of flirty with her at the beginning of the episode, but at this point he calls like Jessica, like, she wants to sleep here. Get her out. I got a bunch of guys downstairs playing poker.
Oh.
Or watching a snuff film. I don't know. Whatever.
Stag film. Yeah.
Stag film. Thank you. Yes, that sounds better.
Yeah, and it really is the old fogies. Oh, the town's gonna talk.
I remember when my grandma and her boyfriend at the time, well, actually, yeah, her boyfriend until he died, they went to go see that movie Sideways
No.
with Paul Giamatti.
Oh yeah, with the guy from Wings. Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, Thomas Hayden Church. Really depressing movie, but I love that filmmaker very much. And my mom asked her, "How did you guys like that movie?" There was nudity in it. It was like a stag film. That was her. That's how she described it. It's a stag film. And there's literally like 3 seconds of nudity in that movie, and it's when the naked guy runs out after he goes and steals his wallet.
Yeah.
It's a really funny scene.
Oh, I wish I could remember. There was a movie I watched with my Nana, and the same thing. Partway through, there's a nude scene, and she just yells out, "This is a dirty picture! This is a dirty picture!"
How
was
awkward
so
is it to
embarrassed.
watch any nudity scene with your grandmother? Oh my god.
Yeah, I was very embarrassed.
The Shining. Watched that with my grandparents once because my grandpa likes Jack Nicholson.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
And if you ever want to hear a correct opinion about The Shining, you can listen to the classic horror cast and hear me talk about it.
Does that still exist?
And no, it doesn't. I don't know. That's all gone.
I've still got the episode.
Anyway,
Email me if anyone wants the episodes.
Oh my god. You don't have the
Yeah, listen-
Caleb. You don't have the when we did the Netflix shit we watch on Netflix, do you?
Oh, I got it all. Yep. Email me at
Do you now? Oh.
gmail.com if you want those episodes. I got them all.
Oh, I have to email you. Okay, I have to go through official channels.
I got
Okay.
the archive at this point.
'Cause
Sean and Steve's archive.
I was thinking about doing something with some of those old horror reviews that we did, but
Yeah, no, hit me up. I've got them all. Yeah.
jeez.
I was just listening to them a few days ago, actually, one of them. Exists.
I picture you as
I watched that
you
movie.
were-
So I was like, hey, oh, go ahead, Sean.
Julian Glover for our I don't know if what the Lannisters, what the fuck we are, but you're the what do they call that guy in Game of Thrones? Cullen Camp should have been in that Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, in the little pre-topic banter section, I was like, yeah, I finally come full circle. I started listening to you guys in the TARDIS Tavern back in 2011. I started emailing that show like 2015. Had you guys on my podcast, I don't know when. And then finally, all these years later, now I'm on one of your podcasts. So there you go.
There you go.
Almost
There you
15
They haven't
years
had you on
later.
before?
I don't think so. I
Jeez.
don't think so.
No, we have not.
I know the first time I met Caleb, he mentioned something I had brought up on the TARDIS Tavern, and I just didn't even remember even discussing
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, holy shit!
I am an archive for that. I still listen to the Tavern, regularly.
So,
That's one
so
of my
Steve,
favorite
tell me about
podcasts.
that thing that you collect, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, tell me
What are you
about that thing
talking about?
mentioned, 10 years ago.
It's like,
Well, you've got the cricket ball, which if you die, I get it, right?
yeah, because my wife would probably throw it in the trash.
Oh my
Wait a minute, am
gosh.
I setting up my own murder?
The Peter Davison cricket ball.
Yeah,
There you
he's
go.
got all of the classic doctors that are still alive
No,
who signed it.
no,
I've seen
the
a
first
couple,
three
right?
I don't.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. I don't have William Hartnell, Trout, or Pertwee.
Yeah, for obvious reasons, but
Yeah.
yeah, that
R.I.P.
was shipped to our friend John Brannigan in the UK, and he brought it to a convention and had Tom Baker sign it.
Yeah.
Oh, P.S. Just as a side tangent, the movie I mentioned earlier, The Ice Harvest, with John Cusack
Okay.
and Billy Bob Thornton. It's a dirty picture.
Harvest.
A dirty picture. Yeah, so don't watch it. Apparently. According to my
That's what
grandma.
Nana said.
Yeah, exactly.
What other names for grandparents are there, or for grandmothers? There's Nana, obviously
Yeah.
Grandma, Meemaw,
My Colombian grandma was Abuelita. Yeah.
Abilita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a common name for grandma?
Yeah. For Latino
Uh-huh.
folks. Oh, I had someone who they would call their grandma like Monma, something that sounded like it was like maybe Eastern European. But
What's the Chinese one? I saw that movie with Aquafina about her grandma.
and I knew someone who would call their grandpa Pop Pop, which I always thought was kind of
Pop
odd.
Pop.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. Yeah. Hey, well, maybe the readers can email us with their grandparent names that are outside of grandma and grandpa. So.
There
We
you go.
we called my great grandfather. We just called him Old Pa.
That's
He's a
kinda
old
cute.
hillbilly,
It's fitting.
and he couldn't pronounce my name, so he just called me Johnny.
Wait, he
Johnny.
couldn't pronounce Sean?
No, he couldn't pronounce. He was
That
an
is
old
very
hillbilly.
hillbilly-ish.
I think
But
the man
Sean?
like moonshine was in his food pyramid. You know what I mean?
Sean. All
I
these
don't know.
foreign
So,
names. Call you John.
Oh, he's what is he, Asian? Why'd you name him that?
No, Old Pa.
Give
didn't
him,
come
give
to
him,
my
give him a
house.
man's name, John. Johnny, that's a man's name.
Johnny. Hey, Johnny. That's literally what he sounded like. I know I sounded like a zombie just now, but that's
Oh,
literally
that's
what...
sweet though. That means he cared for you. That's
Yeah, it
sounds like he was excited
you.
to see you there. Yeah. Like,
And
hey,
we had
Johnny.
another great grandfather. We just called him Big Grandpa, which I
In
think is
40
kinda
years,
cute.
I don't want you making fun of me on some podcast in the future, okay? And there you go. You got old Pop got him upset.
He's gonna haunt me tonight. gonna wake up all the cats.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I mean, Guy Stockwell's going to haunt me tonight, so for what I said earlier.
I wonder if my grandma would even understand if I tried to explain. Oh, I was joking about you on a podcast. Podcast.
Just say it's a radio,
what
or
now?
you could have explained it. It's a radio show that's
You're on the
that's
radio.
not on a radio. It's on the computer. It's on a computer. It's a computer radio show.
Yeah, already
you
lost.
go.
Already confused.
Already,
Yeah,
that does
yeah.
not gonna do it. Okay.
I remember my grandma got a new car, and she got one of those cars. She probably paid super extra for this. It was the screen that has GPS on it and radio and all
Oh
that.
yeah.
Oh man, did she goes, and I don't know what this is. And she
Oh,
like waved her hand at it like she was putting, I'm like, it's the GPS. That's
It's
how
like
you
that
get around.
SNL skit with Alexa.
Oh, Odessa. What are those kids doing? They are just playing.
Well, I don't know about that. It was Caleb, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's
No, no.
Alexa for old people, and it's like, but one of the features, the features of this new Alexa is that it will respond to any different pronunciations of its name. So, Argentina, like these old people just come out with names because I can't remember
Odessa.
Alexa.
So William
Odessa.
Parkle edition.
What?
Yeah.
Odessa, when did so and so die? Or no, what? Or something like that, and it's like, oh,
No, one of them asks it, Alexa, how many hits did Satchel Paige have on Monday night's game? And it says, Satchel Paige is dead.
oh, whose Alexa is that that just talked?
Okay, Alexa, stop.
Yeah, I don't know why the old people humor. It's just it never gets old.
It'll happen to
One
us
of my
all,
favorites.
Caleb. It'll happen to us all.
And we'll talk
true.
about, speaking of old people, we'll get back to Murder, She Wrote. But one of my other favorite old people skits on Saturday Night Live is when they had Pedro Pascal playing the Mexican mom, and the guy brings his white date over to meet her.
Oh, I've never
and
seen that one. Yeah,
That's pretty damn funny.
I thought you were gonna.
And
I thought it was gonna be the "Oops, I pooped my pants."
Oh, Steve, do you know who created that? You know who wrote that? It's the trans lady that's in that Will
Oh,
Ferrell
really?
documentary. And at one point when he goes to meet her, he puts on an "Oops, I crap my pants" shirt, and he goes, you know, she wrote this, so I feel I should wear it for her. Which I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad somebody thinks about that still, except for me and Steve.
Well, but yeah, so everyone's sleeping. Let's
Okay.
phone call.
Yeah, all right, but
Let's
you got to
grab the
get to
phone
the dinner.
call.
oh, sorry. Yeah, we're getting towards the end, ladies and gentlemen.
Somebody's going to die real soon,
Well,
promise.
at least we should mention, or did we mention earlier about that phone call that wakes up Sheriff Tupper? He's all confused, hits his knee, and then yeah, that's the setup for our potential murder.
Oh, it's what's his name? Ed Bellamy calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He's
Which
harassing
who?
him.
How does Sheriff Tupper not? Sometimes I really wonder about him, and they he's written that way on purpose. It's not like we're teasing or making fun of the character. They write him like that. I mean, they even say, even his sister Winnie even says, "Well, he's not the sharpest, tool in the toolbox," kind of comment. But yeah, so Angela calls Sheriff, and she's finished her book. Oh, she's got some free time. So she's going to make breakfast for everyone, and she invites Amos over. And so they all have, Winnie, Amos, and Jessica all have this breakfast. And I love how Amos is collecting all the pancakes. But she's like, Jessica's like, oh yeah, I feel like I've neglected you, Winnie. I'm so sorry. Maybe I was thinking about hosting a dinner party, and Amos, like, out of nowhere, just wakes up, and he's so excited by this idea. Like, that's a fantastic. And you know what you could do, Jessica? You can make lobsters, and you can make clams. Oh, you could make my favorite cranberry cake. Could you also do your famous Cabot Cove chowder? That's my favorite. Like, it's like this guy.
that's me talking to my grandma when I was little.
And Jessica's like, okay.
She liked it.
Jessica's like, okay,
sure,
yeah,
I'll.
Yeah, it sounds like a $200 meal in $1980, but yeah, okay, sure, we can do that.
I think I should mention we have never before seen the inside of Amos Tupper's house. And he actually lives like a real gentleman.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah.
Kentucky bourbon. He's got multiple bedrooms for all of them to stay in.
Yeah, he's
I
got
don't
a
think
nice
this-
little tiki bar in the living
Yeah,
room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did John Wayne Gacy.
Like some good quality wood. Wait, what? I almost skirted past that. I missed it.
No, that's
Wait,
fucking
oh.
true. John Wayne Gacy had a tiki bar in his living room.
Well, that was the
Okay,
thing in the
I've heard-
60s and 70s, right? That was a...
Yeah.
Bringing up that guy.
Do you know about? You know about my John Wayne Gacy connection that I have to brag about.
Oh yes, we share a similar connection.
Okay.
Yep.
He did really have a tiki bar. Okay. So we have to get past the dinner party,
There
and
you
then
go.
I have another thing that I should have brought up.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
she never uses her dining room except when she has fancy parties, I guess. She's cooking lobsters, which I fucking love lobster, but the
I want to
process
be
of
at this
cooking
party.
lobster-
I want to be invited.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Banner family are such fucking
Oh, my
assholes. And they're like, ooh, what is this?
goodness. Ooh, it's
I mean,
nasty.
Flo,
Yeah!
it's like
Let's
Flo
go right over to the
specifically.
liquor cabinet. Let's just
like-
dive into her booze. Yeah, these guys.
I mean, yeah, like, oh, here's clams and shrimp. Like, I would take that platter and I would go into another room by myself and eat that thing. It wouldn't last
Oh.
10 minutes. I would.
I'd be with you, Steve. We could just sit on the floor and eat it together, shells all around us,
Yeah,
and
right.
just pass out.
Cocktail sauce all over our faces and.
Just pass it under the floor. Just sweep you
But
guys
what
away.
kind of what kind of Philistines don't like seafood? I thought everybody likes seafood up to a point.
I mean, I can almost understand like maybe the clams, but shrimp, come on,
Yeah.
lobster, and then the clam. I love clam chowder, and this is someone who only eats fucking Campbell's chunky style clam chowder because we don't have that shit in Texas. So
Wait a
I've
minute.
never
We
had.
do.
Huh?
We have it.
We don't have fresh clam chowder. I mean, like the real stuff
Oh,
from Maine.
yeah.
I've never had fresh clam chowder. Mine has always been in a can. So, and I love it
is
in a
a-
can. I can't imagine what it would be like having like fresh clam chowder. I would.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't go back
pretty
to the
fucking
You
good.
can't go back to the can after.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, anything like
The
that,
best-
frozen, canned, whatever.
The best
Not as good.
The best that I've had is in Martha's Vineyard. Damn, it was like one of the best things I ever tasted. It's like, this is the most perfect clam chowder ever.
Right.
And that bitch Flo does not appreciate it.
Yeah, what she called the clam chowder. It's wall paste with lumps.
So open.
I'm like,
saying all that.
go to hell and
Rude.
die.
Yeah.
I want you to die. I want you to be the one.
Yeah, that's our fantasy episode. Yeah, we'll rewrite it. Oh, but I wasn't even thinking. I was like, I can't imagine what living as Jessica Fletcher would be like. It's not like this is a regular cop show where they arrive on a murder scene, they're actively like investigating. She's just living her life, and next thing you know, oh, there's another dead body I'm stumbling over.
Looks like I'll have to solve another one.
Did they ever go into it? Do they ever does she have like a crisis at one point? Like, oh my gosh, am I just bad
Yes.
luck? Okay.
In the episode Something Borrowed, Someone Blue, what's the actress's name that was on 2.5 Men? She's no longer with us. She played the maid or the cook in that, and she gets stabbed with a meat thermometer.
In the back.
And-
Oh my! And that's
a-
with the kids with the sound effect.
Yes.
Boing.
And this is at Grady's wedding when he marries Donna.
That's right.
And what he says after the murder, he's like talking to his would-be wife, and he's like, "Great, I just knew this would happen. I knew this would happen, just like at our engagement party," which is an episode I haven't seen. But
Right.
yeah, that was the only time that I can think of that was commented on. And there's been a couple times where cops recognize her, they know about her.
Yeah, because she's been in the news so often,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Local woman solves
and they all want to sleep with her too for some reason. It's weird.
Well, I did think it was funny
Well.
with Amos when he's talking about his sister. He's like, "Oh, a bachelor like him, like, oh, you're in his house, of course, a beautiful woman like you." And I was just sitting there pulling on my collar, like, I don't know what I mean. But
Come on, Amos. They just had a a fucking orgy, literally a fucking orgy,
Oh my gosh.
all night before. Come on, Amos.
I'm glad they left out that scene.
So, as the title suggests, somebody puts barbiturates or barbituals in Mrs. Fletcher's chowder, and just this I find highly questionable. Jessica and Seth are in the kitchen taking lobsters out of the pot, when all of a sudden there's a scream.
Is that code for something? Or?
No, it's code for lobsters. Lobsters, which, by the way, gave their lives for nothing because no one's going to be eating them now.
There you go.
Yeah. Mary Tyler Moore would be very upset.
I have no idea what that meant.
I'm a little bit
Oh,
lost,
you
too.
you don't? No. So for the beautiful Mary Tyler Moore passed, she was an advocate for not boiling lobsters alive. Like that was her big thing. She was an advocate for it, and she did commercials and stuff, I think, too, as well.
Really?
Yeah, like maybe not the commercials, but I know she was very vocal about boiling lobsters. Like she hated it because you were killing. I mean, it is a horrible way to die.
Yeah, it's not.
So she was very much against that, and I remember thinking, because as a kid growing up, I'm like, but I love Red Lobster.
Well, I appreciate that
So
information.
it was.
I had no idea about that. That's interesting.
So for somebody who loved boiled lobster, I mean, as a kid I didn't understand, but as an adult, I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. She did that. So
Yeah.
So this is actually rare to see lobster on Murder, She Wrote. The town of Cabot Cove is loosely based on I don't know where I read this. Don't ask me to quote it. I don't know. It's loosely based on the town of Kennebunkport, Maine, which I was at a couple years ago.
Oh.
And they have one of the most famous lobster restaurants in the world. And it's not even like a fancy restaurant. Like you go inside, it's all wood and it's all like wooden benches. It looks like it's a summer camp dining hall. But everything is lobster. You just order your lobster and you eat it, and delicious. But I am not a fan. I get really creeped out sometimes tearing the lobster apart. And Tom, being Asian, insists that every substance of meat must be eaten because the Asian people don't waste anything. That's how chop suey was made. You just put everything from the refrigerator that's left over and you make a mix of it. But anyway, I don't know why I had to share that. That's the gummies kicking in again, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it was wasted opportunity here with them all passing out right in front of the chowder. Somebody should have drowned in that chowder. Come on. How could they let that? Go?
You know what? I want to send this clip to, like, there's this guy that does a YouTube video for, like, doctor advice. Like, this really, really handsome guy with glasses, and he talks about doctor. And then I love watching him, but I want to send that clip to him and say, do barbiturates really take this soon to kick in? And does this mean that Winnie should be falling asleep from just taking the medicine for her ulcer? Because we find out that the barbiturate that was used to poison the chowder came from Winnie's prescription, which the way she described it, it sounded like it was a liquid. Because she says she spilled it all over the floor or something.
Right.
It was
and that's interesting because she has to take it before a meal, so she would have OD'd on it, just like Elmo. Because I don't know if we've talked about this. Elmo is the one that dies. Her husband, her abusive husband, because someone I guess had been lacing his drink, and also laced the clam chowder with barbiturates. So.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I like this episode. I think it's a lot of fun, but it's no, like, Murder Takes the Bus. You know, it's almost like a quirky small-town murder mystery written by, who's the author? Jane Perry? With quirky characters and all that. And I kind of appreciate that, and I also kind of appreciate... Well, we'll get there. Yeah. But... Elmo dies. Not the real Elmo, but the fake Elmo on Murder, She Wrote.
Not the tickle me Elmo? Okay.
Yeah. And how did the murderer know? Okay, everybody's going to get get poisoned, how did the murderer know that Elmo would die again?
Well, we'll get to that. Yeah, they explain it.
Okay, we'll get
pretty
to
big.
it. Okay.
I will say I've never. I think this is the first time I've ever heard phenobarbital mentioned this many times over and over again. I was like, not the most catchy or piffy of like clues to center on, but
Phenobarbital. What is that used? Obviously, it's an anesthetic. Do they use that for surgeries?
No, it's like sleeping pills. They said.
Oh, okay.
But there's also before the meal.
Wait. The reason I asked that because if you put those two words together, you get the word fentanyl. So I was wondering. I don't think they were on fentanyl because I've had fentanyl and it doesn't do that to you. But yeah.
So
I was cataract surgery. Just want to make it clear.
okay,
Cataract
this isn't
surgery.
Sean.
Oh,
weekend.
it's not in a gummy. Okay.
Well,
So outside, this was before they eat. Elmo is having an argument with the private investigator Ed. What was his last name? Bellamy.
Bellamy.
But they get into a fight. We don't know what exactly. So Amos ends up breaking that fight up, and the PI runs off. We found out later that Elmo has hired him to trail Winnie and I guess see what she's up to. I don't know why is she having an affair or what. I think he's trying to find out why she's acting the way she is. I don't know. He's obviously very paranoid.
She's sleeping in random men's houses the night she meets them. I mean, yeah, who knows what she's
Right.
up to. So.
Yeah, we find that out later too. Yeah, she's a little loosey goosey.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I mean, look at Elmo. And listen to that name. If I was dating someone named Elmo, I don't think I could. I don't think I could take it seriously.
Suddenly Elmo was standing beside me. Yeah, it doesn't quite ring.
So, after they hear Flo scream, after they all eat the lace clam chowder, so the only three people who have not eaten the clam chowder is Flo, Seth, and Jessica. So they go to the hospital. Elmo's not responsive. Yes, is this?
I'm sorry. I just want to say the clam chowder scene, the part where they all pass out at the table, reminded me of that scene from The Meaning of Life, the Monty Python movie, where the Grim Reaper shows up at a dinner party and says, "Oh, this is poison," and they all die. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be the guy who ate too much. Okay.
Mr. Creosote? No.
I'm full. No, just a little chocolate wafer. Said, no, I'm stuffed. No, it's fine.
I'm sorry. I did not know we have a racist working here.
I did like, by the way, during that scene when they're trying to wake them all up, we keep just seeing in the corner, what's his name? Henry Gibson. What's his character's name? Kenny? We just keep seeing him in the corner. He's just sitting there eating, just watching as they're trying to wake
Harold.
everyone up. I was like, what's going on there? Why is he helping?
He's hungry.
You know, when they first get there, he's the one that tends the bar, and like he does this thing in the background where he's looking at the bottles, and there's like a bottle of vodka or gin or something, and it looks like he's about to drink right from the bottle, and then they cut to something else. Good background acting, Henry Gibson.
That's amazing. And I feel like I recognize those bottles from the liquor store. Like those are the cheap. That's the cheap booze. I'm surprised Jessica's like, I'll buy the $7.99 bottle of vodka and the $10 bottle of scotch.
Yeah, maybe.
It all looked like it was in those plastic bottles.
Maybe she heard from Amos that these people, you don't need to buy the top shelf stuff. You can just get the trash for this family.
Or put that, like, hide the good stuff.
Exactly.
And just bring out the cheap stuff.
Yeah, because they drank his bourbon. His Kentucky bourbon, because they're from Kentucky.
Oh, I should have been
Makes
drinking
sense.
bourbon tonight. I've been drinking some Glenfarclas scotch. Single malt scotch.
Me too. Well,
is it Scott Farkas or?
Glenfarclas.
Glenfarclas, okay.
Just clear that up.
Scott Farkas. Why does it sound so familiar? Scott Farkas.
Yeah, it sounds
From A Christmas Story. Christmas Story.
Oh.
It's actually Scott Farkas. He's the bully with the yellow eyes. Davy not Jones, Davy Crockett hat.
Yeah. By God,
Good
yellow
hat.
eyes.
Looking thing, yeah. Yeah.
Scott Farkas.
He reminds that character, whoever that actor is, I have no idea. He reminds me of that actor. I think he's English. He's redheaded. He was in the Black Mirror episode that was interactive.
That's like half of them.
No. The Bandersnatch.
It's the Black Mirror episode that deals with like future
okay.
technology.
Yeah. The Choose
Which
Your
one?
Adventure.
What?
Yeah, Bandersnatch.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I
that was a
loved
good one.
that.
It was
That was a fun one.
it was what was the name of that?
Unless your name
holy
is
shit.
Tom.
By the way, I just went
It
and
was
looked
like
up.
it was like shit. What is the name? It's a good one too. I like that.
Yeah, Bandersnatch.
I remember playing through it a couple of times. It's a online game basically.
Yeah, Bandersnatch, but it doesn't work with
Bandersnatch.
Apple TV.
Wow, I just went to
Huh.
go look up who played that guy. And Sean, at least I'm sure you've seen some of these things. This was Zach Ward. He showed up in one of the Resident Evil sequels. He was the lead of that Postal Yui Bowl video game adaptation movie.
Oh my god. I
He
remember
actually showed
that.
up in a lot of Yui Bowl stuff, it looks like. Zach Ward. Yeah, I've seen this guy a lot. I would have never guessed that was that kid from Christmas Story.
Oh no, he's not the same kid. That kid from Christmas Story is way too old. But he reminds me of him.
now. 40s or 50s.
And
Yeah, that's the guy I'm talking
Oh,
about.
God.
Yeah, the actual kid from that movie. Yeah,
Oh,
he
oh,
went on to
okay,
show up
okay,
in a
I'm
bunch
sorry.
of Huey Bowl video game movies and
Weird.
oh man, jeez. Anyway, we're
at
getting
least
off
he
track.
wasn't in a porno like somebody else.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
keep
that's
scrolling,
right.
I'll
One of
find
them.
out. Let me see if there's any porn in here.
Yeah, one of those kids did end up doing porn. Oh my god.
One
Oh,
that got his
it wasn't.
tongue
It wasn't
sucked
a
in
good
the
looking kid either. Oh. Well, I mean, it wasn't a kid when he did the porn, but
Oh, we're getting
it's like
leads us
Fleck.
to
It's like
Screech.
Fleck or something like that. It was
Oh yeah, let's talk about Screech next. Yeah.
Screech. Oh no.
I don't know
Saved
why
by
it
the
had to be
Bell.
Screech.
Pop that on.
Why couldn't it have been Zach and or Mario?
That'll be your next
Let's say
podcast. Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. Confab.
there's not enough booze in the world.
No, God no.
I had to do the Doctor Who porno twice because the first time the recording didn't work.
The Abducted by Daleks.
Anyway,
the old,
I don't.
you do-
I don't remember
Oh,
doing.
man.
Really, the recording didn't work the first time. I don't remember that.
Something went wrong and we had to do it again. And the thing about
That was rough.
it's a really bad porno
Yeah.
and it's stupid. And I wasn't expecting a good porno, but there's
Yeah, that should be the question. You were expecting something decent? Like, come
Abducted
on.
by Daleks doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't immediately.
It went so left field.
Yeah.
It,
I
like,
watched it
went
thanks
into,
to
like-
you.
the scene with
Jeez.
the scene with the gun I found really offensive.
Yes.
I don't
I don't
think that
remember. I
someone-
don't remember the movie.
You
Oh my
don't
gosh.
remember. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. I probably-
Go watch Doctor Whore instead.
Dr.
Well,
Horries.
let's. Speaking of doctors, we're at the hospital here, I think.
Yes,
I
thank
don't know
you.
where we are.
Thank you, Caleb.
And they're like,
Bringing us back
Elmo's
in.
dead. Elmo's dead.
He's corpsed.
Satan lives.
Did he say anything? Did he have any last words? Yes, he said one word. What was it? It was an expletive.
Yeah, an obscene.
Okay,
Like, did he
guys.
did he just wake up and go, fuck?
Did
Did he go, motherfucking titty slapping fuck ass? I mean, like, did he go Tourette's on them? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope it was a good swear word, like cocksuckers, not like shit, because
That would have been a good one. Yeah, he just yells that.
But did this scene remind y'all of anything else? Also with William Wyndham in it?
No.
The pilot episode of Columbo, Prescription Murder. He strangles the wife. She ends up in a coma in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a scene exactly like this where they say she's dead, but she just said one word, your name.
Oh. I don't
You remember that?
No. Prescription Murder, I guess.
But
been a long time.
wasn't there a Columbo where he thinks that they killed? Oh yes, it was. It was one. Was it the one with Leonard Nimoy as the doctor, where he thinks that the person's dead and oh no, it wasn't that one. But
No, that's the chess one. The chess one with Lawrence Harvey.
Yeah, he said.
Or-
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too.
The garbage compactor.
Yeah, but no. Like the person didn't die. They're in the hospital. They're still alive, and the killer's like, "Oh fuck!" Like, what episode was that? Oh my gosh, that was a good one.
It was the chess one because he throws him in the garbage compactor and he doesn't die. It's the old Russian guy played by character actor. Can't remember his name.
Those Russians, man, you can't kill them.
That was a really good one. Yeah, I quite like that. But side trailing back to this episode, there was a line I wanted to mention while we're in the hospital, and it was Flo again. Oh my gosh, was she was milking
God,
the
she's
scene,
horrible.
strutting around. And there's a line where she's like, "I think there's something fishy about that chowder."
Yeah, that was
She set it up.
that was right on the nose. Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!" They like zoom in right on her too.
Did my grandpa write this? So, can't remember what happens next, except the end is shortly coming. But
I know they
Jessica
really
comes-
saved the death for the very last moment.
Yes. It's
Well, like the
an
last
hour in.
quarter of the episode.
What's interesting though is that makes it more of a closed mystery. I mean, it's not like And Then There Were None where they're all stuck on on an island in the middle of a storm or anything like that. But there were 6 or 7 people at this dinner party. It had to be one of them. You just have to narrow it down and figure out which. There is no surprise in this story. Excuse me.
my
Shit.
goodness.
I've watched this before, but I didn't remember it. And for some reason, the whole time, excuse me, I thought the murderer was Colleen Camp, but I just couldn't figure out why she would do it or how.
Wait, the deputy.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb. I don't know why I thought that. I just thought it would be cool or something.
Yeah, admittedly, this wasn't a Murder, She Wrote episode that I was really engaged with the mystery, so I wasn't even guessing. I
Yeah.
was just like, it'll just play out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like
good.
that way. Yeah.
That's a good point, yeah. And I hate to say it this way, but I didn't care who the murderer was.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't, Seth or the private investigator or something like that. That would be something if, like, the last episode of Murder, She Wrote, or the second to last episode, the murderer turned out to be Seth.
Be quite the twist.
Or Jessica.
Oh no, is Steve gonna float that theory again that she was?
Oh, we don't. Yeah, that's like 1998.
That's my
internet
hot
theory.
take.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my hot take. Just like
That's-
Mrs. Columbo never existed. Yeah.
Hot take, like 25
Well, there's-
years old.
Lukewarm take, I guess.
Oh, but I guess for what happens next, we do get that scene of, Ed Bellamy. He's sneaking around looking for his wallet, or I guess we don't know he's looking for
yes.
the wallet. And then we get to see the kung fu techniques from Colleen Camp. She just throws him on his back, and
I
was
love
like,
that
oh,
scene.
man.
I thought it was great. It's like, get out of here. She like just. I'm surprised she didn't shoot him. Quite
Yeah.
honest.
she's
Like,
loving the police
but,
brutality. I'm surprised too.
but she like wrestles him to the ground, like flips him over on his back, and just.
I used to watch I used to listen to a podcast called "What the Fuck Are We Watching?"
Oh,
with my former co-host Kyle and his friend
Lincoln. Wow, I'd forgotten about
Yeah,
that.
and-
That's-
They had a thing where every episode they would talk about who in the movie of the actors was the best and the worst. And I'm gonna have to admit, I think Colleen Camp was the best in this. I
She
don't
was
know who
fun.
the worst would be.
And she only comes back for another episode. I think she only does 2 episodes. What was the other one she did?
Crossed Lines, the one with Jessica in bed. Is it Crossed Lines? Is that the name of it? The one with the tuna omelet.
yeah, I think.
She's actually the murderer.
I think for her, I think I if I'd been in a, because I was just kind of like, what the hell? Like, she seems like she's completely in a different program than this is. Even that scene when the next scene actually is when she comes over to Sheriff Tupper and she's like, I've got this guy, and he's like, okay, I guess I'll check him out. And she stops him. She's like, hey, this is my caller, and she just struts away. I was just like, oh wow, this is going so over the top too, compared to most.
Oh, okay. Maybe I
I've
take it back, and maybe I should just say the best was.
So, Colleen
what's
Camp,
her
did you
name? Flo.
know she's in the reboot of Matlock?
Is there a remake? Of,
No.
a reboot of Matlock? I did not.
Mhm.
Sir. Yeah, it's big. Kathy Bates plays Matlock.
Are you serious?
And,
Is this airing now?
I'm totally
Yeah, we're serious.
Yes,
Oh.
totally serious.
Uh,
And when she's done with this role, she's going to retire.
Really?
Allegedly, you never know when people say that if they're really
Right.
going to do it.
Kathy Bates.
You know, like
or-
Rick Moranis, Kathy Bates. Yeah.
Oh.
I saw something. Oh, what was it? Oh no, it was that Stephen King documentary I was talking about. The part where they talked about Misery. They showed the clip of Kathy Bates winning the Oscar for Misery. She gets up there and she thanks her dad wherever he is, and she thanks Rob Reiner, and she thanks Stephen King for even thinking the. I think in my lifetime, that is the best actress win I've seen. Because she saves that movie because Rob Reiner does such a shitty job directing it.
Aw.
James Caan does. I don't like Rob Reiner. Like,
Really?
I just think Stand By Me was good. He did Spinal
Yeah, I
Tap
was
as
about to say,
well.
what about Spinal Tap? Come on, that's a classic.
But I recently watched A Few Good Men. Oh, I did not like it.
Yeah, not very
Oh,
good.
and I'm trying to sort of separate my hatred for Tom Cruise from that. I really hate Tom Cruise, but it's it's another one of those movies. First half, it's all like him and Demi Moore and Kevin Pollak talking and doing the case. Then the second half is the actual trial. That's where you get Jack Nicholson yelling at Tom Cruise. You
Right.
can't handle the truth.
Yeah, the early
Anyway.
90s, a lot of that stuff, it seemed so good at the time, and now it just, dates so poorly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And sometimes it's just the music ruins it. You know?
Oh, yes, I know. Murray Gold. Maybe he was the one making the music for that.
Well, I'm not on that. I'm not in that boat. But I think they should turn That's the sound mixers issue right there. I can't hear you through the. Anyway.
Yeah, where are we now? Steve, do you know?
Okay,
Yes,
so
stay on target. Stay on target.
so Emo's dead. He's been tickled no more.
Oh,
And then we already discussed about Ed looking for his wallet, being tackled by Marigold. And where are we? And so, okay, Seth identifies that there was phenobarbital in the chowder. And we also, I think it's through the Winnie that we discovered that he would take that for sleeping. And then, yeah, I think
it was.
because he would take it normally.
yeah.
Okay, it was already in his system, and
Well-
more in there.
Wouldn't that
and-
mean he built up a tolerance for it, though? I don't know.
Well, we'll get to the reveal of how he got extra poison.
So the next morning, Jessica goes over to Amos's house, and there's Harold working on the car. Like he's got the hood up, and he's getting ready to leave town. I guess. I don't
So
know.
he's giving his car like an oil, like it's not an oil change.
Oil change. I don't know what's going on, but she invites him into the house, and he wants to make her his own special cocktail, the Golden Dragon, which actually looks pretty tasty. I kind of wish there was a recipe.
No. Let me
No?
ask you guys this: if this guy invited you into his house, would you have a cocktail with him, or
Especially
again,
when,
John Wayne Gacy?
especially when suspected.
And
of
Jessica didn't
murdering
either.
someone with drugs.
Well, even
Yeah.
Jessica, she's like sniffing the drink. She won't.
Yeah.
She won't drink it.
Smart.
But we find out that what gives off the clue. Well, it's Harold's not the killer, but we do find out a little bit more about Elmo, that he got into drugs. He would sneak moonshine. He was the favorite of the family, which inherited this pharmacy, CVS, I guess, because that's why they're going out of business. But
Because they wasted so much money on printing receipts.
Maybe, yes. Yeah,
Just
33
stop.
foot long receipts.
He was just burning through all their
but-
backlog.
But yeah, so Harold was the pharmacist. Flo was the
Beautician.
cosmetics
Yeah.
beautician. Yeah, and Kenny, what was he? He was the floor manager. I forgot what else, but I mean,
Yeah.
Harold had just been drugged up his entire life.
Or Elmo.
I mean,
And-
Elmo.
I'm sorry, Elmo had been drugged up his entire
Elmo
life.
on drugs.
So Harold would know like what he was, abusing. Anyways,
So that
Jessica's
kinda-
about to take
that
it.
does, that does kind of make Harold the person with the best motive opportunity.
Yeah.
I think so.
And he's got that kind of
means-
slippery
yeah.
look, like he's a holier than thou type. Something about him just makes
Yeah.
it look like he
Yeah.
thinks he's better than you.
And he was
Be a
from a
Cold
previous.
Murder type.
He was a half brother from a previous marriage, so he would have been jealous
Yep,
that
there you go.
Elmo got the business and
But
whatever.
no.
But he's not. He's not.
Yeah.
No,
Turns out
not
he's
at
kind
all.
of a nice guy.
But because when he serves Jessica the golden dragon, it's in a short glass, and he says, "Oh, I would normally serve you in a tall glass," which sets off fireworks in Jessica's mind, and she's like, "I know who the killer is,"
Yeah.
and it turns out it's Kenny, because Kenny had gotten a cocktail earlier of a double bourbon, and laced it because it was in a short glass. He laced it with the barbitol, and was later seen drinking a ginger
Ginger ale.
a ginger ale. Thank you. Later in a tall glass. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Well, no,
that's the
wait,
clue.
no. I think this is a good clue. I really
Really?
do think this is a good clue.
Not developed. They don't give it enough time to breathe. It all just kind of happens in like a minute span. And then he's
Mm-hmm.
immediately like, okay, I'm the killer, and she can't leave. And it's like, oh.
Wait, I agree with you there. His reveal and what he does is really dumb. But the clue about the glasses, that he went from a short glass to a tall glass. And by the way, if he spiked the bourbon and then poured that into the chowder, when did he do it?
Oh,
And wouldn't everybody taste the bourbon?
no, he spiked the bourbon and then spiked the chowder. He was doing the chowder so that everyone would get affected, including himself, and then giving the other guy a double dose that it would actually kill him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he added in
All
the
right.
booze and the chowder.
Okay. All right.
Which
Not the
doesn't
perfect
explain
way to
because
kill
we know
someone?
No.
we know that Wendy has been like taking the barbitol as well, but whatever. But yeah, so that Kenny confesses, and just as he's getting ready to execute Jessica
With a knife, a pocket
with
knife.
oh my god, I know, a 1-inch blade. Oh my god.
Like, hi, I'm Henry Bowers from Hit.
And I do like how he's
Deputy
like,
Marigold
Okay.
interferes because there's somebody who's parked against a fire hydrant.
I did notice
Oh my
that.
God.
I was like, oh, did the car break down right in front of that hydrant? You should move that and get towed. And there
You
she
get
is.
towed, yeah. Yeah, Deputy Marigold's going to come out and pull a gun on you because she's gun crazy.
Barge into your
Which
house.
she does.
Yeah.
She does, yeah. She goes she goes into Amos. She surely knows that's Sheriff Tupper's home.
Yeah, she's
So
new
she
in town.
barges in there like, okay, who's the guy who parked in front of the fire hydrant?
The gun drawn. the trigger, her fingers on the trigger.
She knows who it is. Come on. Anyways.
It's obviously the guy with the knife.
Yeah, right.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, maybe
and
she's
she's so
looking-
happy.
Maybe she's
Huh?
looking to take over the department. She's hoping it's the sheriff.
maybe,
She can shoot
maybe.
him, and yeah.
It's just, I'm sick and tired of cosmetics.
Oh, that was Flo.
And that was Flo.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Sorry.
Anyway, so okay, she arrests Kenny, and
She killed Kenny.
that's
She
it.
should've-
That's the episode. Winnie ends up leaving, thanking everybody. She goes in for a tight squeeze on Seth, and he's like, "Oh no, 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 no!" He pushes her away.
Don't they even kiss on the lips? Don't they have a little?
No, he's like, not in front of Jessica.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. I was like, hey, I've got some sisters. You would not see me. Maybe if I'm an old grandpa, maybe then the lip kisses. But I was like, oh, it's a bit intimate for siblings.
But you know, when he's already like eyeing out future bachelors, she sees Ed, who's about the PI who's been following her, getting on the same bus to leave Cabot Cove, and they decide they're going to sit together and get comfy. Yeah. At the end.
Is there I can't remember. Is there a freeze frame of Jessica laughing
Oh
at
yes,
the end?
yeah, her and Seth. They're holding each other and laughing.
Seth is like, oh, I got out of that one. Oh. Jessica, you're the only one.
I did think it was funny this time. I don't know if this is how they usually do it. I can't remember. Where the frame freezes, but you can still hear them laughing as it fades out.
Oh yes.
Like, oh, that's. I remember that.
Do you know? Years and years ago, I was watching a movie. I was watching Teen Wolf with my then girlfriend, and we were watching it on TV, and it was near the end of the movie with the basketball game. And I said, I will bet you $1 million this movie ends with them winning the basketball game. And then Michael J. Fox as Teen Wolf is going to do like a fist thrust. And then they're going to pause it and then roll the credits.
Oh.
Now, I was absolutely right. But the reveal, we're watching this. And this is like 1990, I don't know what. And she's like, oh my God, did you just see that? This is a few minutes before the movie ends. I'm like, what? She goes, a guy just zipped up his fly on the camera because they have these people sitting in the seats in the gym, and when they stand up to cheer, there's one guy that visibly zips up his fly. Why am I telling this story?
I don't know.
Gummy.
I'm
I
really
don't know
confused
really
why
either.
this is coming out now.
Gummy.
I just
There was a freeze frame.
it's
and,
the gummy.
Yeah, it drew the connection. The gummy
That's
speaking
right,
for
okay.
the man.
yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, that was it.
And his pee-pee was hanging out the whole time. Yeah.
No, his pee-pee wasn't. See, why do you always have to take it down one more level? It's like I take it down to like the basement, and you take it down to like where the serial killer.
So you so it's
take it
my
down to,
fault.
like, the-
I like
the
that
Tetzel family
you
from
bring
Germany.
this. You bring up this nonsense, and then it's my fault somehow. Okay.
Steve's always
please, I
he's
hear
always
that
there to
every
bring
day.
it towards the chuds. Yeah, down in the sewer. Yeah.
The chuds. Thanks so much, Caleb.
Do you know what chuds are, Steve?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we got the freeze frame and the laugh, and I guess that means that we've come down to the end. I suppose.
All right. I'm ready to review this. Give it a number.
Okay. You give it the number. Isn't that your job?
All right. So we're gonna. The number I picked was at the very end. It was the number of the Love Shack bus at the end that Winnie and Ed join on. It is bus number 517.
Oh.
So Caleb, what would you rate this out of 100? I'm sorry, 517.
517. I'll say that this falls right into the middle for me for the Murder, She Wrote. I think that the humor of it elevates it a bit, but I was pretty disappointed at the mystery elements. I really thought that they were kind of just leaving that almost as an afterthought of like, oh yeah, we forgot we got to throw this in here half an hour in. Let's kill this guy and put a mystery together. I would give it maybe like a 375. I think that sounds right to me for this one. How about whoever's next?
Sean?
Okay.
Well, wait. I should ask. So, was there anything like that you found entertaining about it? Like, what was there?
Oh yes, yeah. I did appreciate.
What particular scenes did you like besides the Sesame Street character names?
Yeah, I did appreciate that family. Like, I could see this as just like a comedy. Maybe it was like, I'm trying to think. It's like a Dan Aykroyd comedy. He likes just throwing in all these weird random characters. If they could have, what's the word? Like amped some
Nothing
of that
But
up
Trouble.
a little bit more. I was thinking Nothing But Trouble, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a horrible movie. Oh
I
my
enjoy
It
that.
is a horrible.
It is horrible.
It's
but I
a
enjoy it.
It is horrible. But you know what that movie is, Steve? Though it's House of a Thousand Corpses as a comedy.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
what it is.
yeah,
More penises.
I guess so.
Penis noses.
Yeah.
I
Has
hate
Chevy
those
Chase
two
in it, though.
babies in the thing.
Oh
I
my
do hate
God.
those
Yes.
babies. Oh my god.
As much as
But-
Chevy Chase, I don't know. They're both evil.
Yeah, Chevy Chase, that guy. I don't know how he had his career, but although Fletch is great.
I don't either. I think he sold his soul to the devil with Jerry Jones.
But
Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, overall, I did definitely enjoy it. I just I was really looking forward to I'm gonna have a fun mystery to talk about, and yeah, the mystery really was it really let me down for this one, but still a charming little episode for Murder She Wrote.
All
I
right,
think
Sean.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with most of what Caleb said. What was the number, Steve?
517.
Okay. I'm going to give it a higher rating. I'm going to give it a 461. I agree with what Caleb said, and it's charming. This is like, if it's Thursday, it must be Beverly. Excuse me. Like, it's a little Cabot Cove drama. It's a little bit over the top. And what I'm finding that I really like about this show is that it does experiment with tone a lot, especially in the earlier seasons. If you look at something like Murder Takes the Bus, which is almost filmed like a noir drama in a diner, even though it doesn't look like that, but it's filmed like that. This is filmed a little bit. This is done a little bit more whimsically. I'm speaking of the script, not really the direction. No offense to the director, but I agree with Caleb that the mystery kind of took a back seat, and I think that those people could have been used more. I was way more interested in those 4 crazy family members than I was in like the other stuff.
Yeah.
Even the stuff with Jessica, or like maybe, well, no, they couldn't do this. I was going to say maybe if Winnie didn't show up in the beginning and they spent so much time on her, but I really like the mystery element. Isn't there a lot? There's the whodunit element, I should say, isn't there? It's not like Jessica suddenly says, one of those people at my dinner party was a murderer, which I definitely would have done. But the clue about the glass, I think, is a really good clue. It's the type of clue that, you know what they usually do with this? And I saw it today because I was watching the other episodes that are on this DVD. And I saw one today, I think it was involving a flower, and what they do is, like, all of a sudden, Jessica will be talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden they cut to, like, this flower on a table. And instantly, I'm like, that's going to be a clue, They didn't do this in this one. And I really appreciated that. I almost feel like there were parts that looked like clues, but they weren't.
So you think that there was misdirection in this?
I not really. It's like
Half-hearted.
Well,
Yeah,
like the
like the
Ed Bellamy character was pointless. He didn't need to be in this.
no, he was
Like,
stupid.
what was the? I don't even understand why this. I mean, as you had said earlier, Sean, just as more of a misdirect that he should be the killer, but it's so obvious that he can't
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, the most
He's like the
blatant
mafia.
of Mr. X.
Yeah, it's like whenever they have like a mafia character, it's not going to be him. The mafia character is too obvious. Oh, the bird is in this. I'm sorry, I take that back.
So Chirpy is in there. Okay.
Yeah, Chirpy's in there. The deputy, what's his name? I didn't get that. I don't know where they were trying to go with him.
Grover.
Oh, my goodness.
Grover. Yeah,
Did you like
the
the-
deputy?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did you like the scene where he's trying to type and he's doing the 2 fingers? He's got his tongue out. He's really focusing on that. And I was
It's
like,
got the pencil eraser.
yeah. I was like, this is quite the ramshackle.
That's how I
guy.
typed back in the day. Did any of you guys in high school? This is so long ago. In high school, I had to take typing class. Did either one of you have to do that?
I did with computers, but yeah, not with the typewriter.
Oh no, these were the old like bulky 50, 75-pound typewriters. There was a classroom which had like 30 of those machines, and we all had to
Yeah.
type. Oh my, I was so bad at it.
Going back to Misery, these are the typewriters he like hit her on the head with in that movie.
Oh, they were
was about to say.
huge.
I was like, where's the
They were
Murder, She Wrote
huge.
episode where someone gets killed with a typewriter? That just seems like it's got to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
All right. So, Sean, you gave it a 461.
Yeah.
I agree with pretty much everything that's been said so far. I enjoyed the family dynamic because I think we all have family like that. I agree with Caleb that there wasn't much mystery, a murder mystery in this.
Yeah.
The very end with Kenny, like I didn't pick up on the glass thing. The only clue that we got that might be something was that Kenny was an alcoholic and he wanted to run the bar.
Yeah.
But that was really the only thing I didn't pick up on the glass, the short glass. For a mixed drink, and then a cocktail glass would be in a a mixed drink would be in a tall glass, a cocktail or on the rocks would be in a short glass. I really thought it made more sense that Harold, the older brother, would have been the killer. Made sense, jealousy and all sorts of things. I didn't quite understand why Kenny would have murdered him. Like, he was just because he was out of control. But there was what was his motive? There was no motive for him.
Well, it was
as far
it was
as
like
I
you
knew.
said, that he was out of control. He was destroying the company, making bad decisions, like paying this investigator to follow his wife.
Yeah.
Just throw money down the drain.
Yeah, I think that was really ineffectual because these don't seem like the people that would be running a family business.
Well,
Not
because
a
he's a
successful
drunkard.
one.
He's and
Specifically
Kenny's
a
a
drug
drunk.
star.
He's a drunk. So why? I don't know. The only two people would either be Harold, the older guy, the pharmacist, because he has an understanding of the medicine, and he would be jealous that he didn't inherit the business like his younger brother, Elmo. It would make sense almost with Flo because she's so aggressive and
There you go. Yeah.
and she was just nasty. Like, she just had a nasty disposition. But it was fun. It was fun learning more about Amos Tupper's family. He's not he's not the only child. He actually has a sister. We had the introduction of a new character we see one time, which is unfortunate. But I really liked Marigold. What else? It was fun to watch. I think it was more entertaining just to kind of sit back, watch, don't turn your brain on, and just enjoy it because it really the who the killer is and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's not that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter.
It's obligatory.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just thrown in because they got to do it.
By the way, if you watch...
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
I was just saying it's not going to be. It's not going to be Winnie. It's not going to be Amos. Obviously, it's
Not going to be
I don't know.
Seth. Not going to be a lobster.
It's not, yeah, right. It's not going to be a clam. Call me wallpaper, will you? Oh, wall paste, will you? I'll show you.
By
So-
the way, I do have to add, I'm watching it on mute right now, and when they serve the chowder, the killer, what's his name? Jeffrey Lewis.
Kenny.
Character's name.
Kenny.
He's the first one that goes up to the tureen with the chowder in it, and he starts serving people. So he had a little while before that to put the barbiturates in. And also, Elmo is the first one to sit down at the dinner table, and he's already looking kind of queasy, like he's going to fall asleep. So it was kind of all there. You're just, I didn't know to pay attention to it because I kind of forgot that I was watching a murder mystery.
Well, here's another thing you just reminded me of, Sean. Like, it's discussed that Seth gives Winnie, I forgot the name of the medicine for her ulcer, which has barbitol in it, and that she drops it later and cleans it up. And so she asks Seth again, like, hey, I don't have any more, even though you gave it to me yesterday, which makes her a prime suspect, because what'd she do with it? Did she really throw it away? So I feel like they imply that medicine was used in the clam chowder, but we never see Kenny either take it or have his own bottle of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they should have said something like, "Oh, I saw Kenny was having some trouble with his ulcer earlier," or something to kind of imply that he had access to it, or I don't know.
I agree. Yeah,
I think because of the
Go ahead,
drugstore
Caleb.
connection, I think we're just supposed to assume that he always had access to it and was just waiting for his chance. I don't know why this was the moment to murder him. Maybe,
but they could have said, yeah. What they could have said is like, when he could have said, "Oh yeah, Kenny has ulcer problems too," or sometimes he he's so busy he forgets, or I don't know, something to where he would have access to the, and it could have been as subtle as that.
You're absolutely right. That would have been a really good clue, but they would have to write it in such a way that it couldn't be like the focal point of the scene. Mm-hmm. They couldn't do like the quick cut to like the incriminating pillow or whatever it would be.
I feel like the glass size was the scene, and it was so minuscule.
But
didn't
it's
pick up
not
on it.
minuscule. No, it's actually kind of cool because he gets the drink from Harold. It's in a short glass.
Yeah.
Harold visibly puts in ice cubes. And then later on, when Flo talks to her husband, "Oh, I hope you're not drinking," he's like, "Oh, it's just ginger ale."
Bitch.
If they had suddenly like showed a close-up of the glass... Did I belch? What's so funny? Why are you laughing at me?
If like he's like, this is ginger ale, and then I said, bitch. Like that was what Kenny was thinking when she said that.
No, that's
like, bitch, this is my own drink. Mind your own business. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's a decent clue, and it looks like a continuity error, but it's not. Mm-hmm. And I feel like other directors would have done like a close-up of the glass or something really
right.
Like
yes,
that.
they would have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And they've done this in the past, and it drives me crazy. It's like, okay, there are not old people that had their wine while they were drinking 60 Minutes, and now they're too buzzed to figure out who done it on Murder, She Wrote. Caleb, did you have 60 Minutes in Canada? Because this
it certainly played here, but it wasn't. It was an American import, on the
okay,
from the U.S. channels.
Because that's what this would be. This would be after 60 Minutes on a Sunday night. 60 Minutes occurred at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock was Murder, She Wrote.
Okay. Anyway, so the number I give it. Nobody cares about 60 Minutes in Canada.
No one cares about 60
So
Minutes
the number I give it out of 517. I'm not going to score it as high as you, Sean. You gave it a 461, but I'm definitely scoring it higher than 375.
Is that low? I don't know.
Caleb gave it about half, yeah. I'm going to give it a 432. So it was entertaining. If all else, it was not a good murder mystery, but it was entertaining.
And
So,
it was cool to see Amos be like the folk. I'm sorry, I'm not letting you talk because I'm drunk. But it was cool seeing Amos be like the center of the story.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I love it. I love it when we delve deeper into the characters that we end up enjoying. Like there was one, we had the same situation where it was with Seth, and we learned a little bit more about him with his family when they go to some plantation or something in New Orleans or something, and that was fun only for the fact that we find out a little bit more about Seth and his family and his background.
They do that again, by the way. They go see Seth's brother, estranged rich brother, who ends up getting murdered.
So, anyways, yeah, 432 for me.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It was not a good murder mystery, but it was still entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and
All
tune
right.
in next time when we cover Nothing But Trouble. There you go, some more family drama.
Watch Dan Aykroyd as an old man eating a chili dog. Yeah.
And his nose becomes more like a penis every scene that he's in. Yeah.
What?
You don't remember that?
No.
Oh man! At first it's like a little line. By the end, it's just full on like, oh my gosh, that is
Like
just
a
a dick
dildo.
in his face. Yep.
Like Debbie
I
Moore.
remember-
Debbie Moore's staring at it like,
I remember
Oh.
seeing that with my mom. I remember seeing that with my mom when it first came out. And I don't know how old I was. I think maybe I was like 10 or 12. We both agreed it was a really shitty movie.
Yeah.
And then I saw it again when I was like totally hammered, older. And I'm like, well, this is kind of good. I can't remember what happens in the second half of the movie. I just like the part where they get pulled over and they have to go to the judge's house.
John Candy.
so
Dan
stupid.
Aykroyd.
Yeah.
John Candy plays like 3
How
years
did how did he even get roped into that movie? I
Must have
whatever.
owed Aykroyd something.
Hey, you know what? Nothing measures up. My favorite person playing 3 roles is Tim Curry in Tales from the Crypt, where Ed Begley Jr. is a traveling salesman, and he goes to this farmhouse, and
Vaguely sounds familiar.
Ma and Pa, they're both played by Tim
Yes.
Curry.
Yes.
Remember the Caleb?
Oh, I've never
No?
seen that. Yeah, was that the movie?
I mean,
Oh,
it's literally in the back of my brain. I remember that, and I remember it being great. I just can't get
And-
the story.
And Tim Curry plays all 3 members of the family. He's Ma, Pa, and the daughter. And as the daughter, he has sex with Ed Begley Jr.
goodness.
And it's so gross because he sits on him and he's going like just not. Anyway, all right. Let's find out what we're going to watch next.
Oh.
Caleb, since you are the guest, you get to spin the wheel.
Oh boy, I'm pumped. Yeah, this is the whole reason I came on. Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh,
Where's the wheel? Yeah.
Here it is. They're bringing it out now. I've only got 1 cat today.
Oh, the cats are carrying it. They're dragging it. Put him to work. Yeah.
All right, Caleb, when I give you the word, spin, and you can spin
Okay.
now.
Here we go. It's spinning like a roulette wheel. It's going.
like a record, baby. Right. Yeah.
There we go. Right around. Yeah. And
All right, so it's something unusual. I put these in. There's 4 of these total. I kind of sprinkle them into different things so we can still call on them, but they're there. We will be watching. It's not going to be from season 5 next week.
Fuck.
Don't.
yeah, this is not a swearing.
It's gonna be
podcast. It's,
Yeah, this is not a swearing. There's no swearing in Murder,
I forgot
She
it's a
Wrote.
family podcast.
There you
I
go.
apologize to all the readers that are younger readers.
exactly.
Yeah, if you listen to this podcast,
Our
with your
G-rated
family-
readers. Yeah.
if you listen to this podcast with your family, you are living in House of 1,000 Corpses. Okay, we're going to be watching one of the made-for-TV movie specials. And it's called A Story to Die For. And I don't have the synopsis of it because it's in a different DVD cover that I didn't bring. I brought the season 5 DVD cover.
So Caleb, what do you
so
think?
Steve,
Wait,
if you
oh
want-
no, I want Caleb to see what he thinks this might possibly be.
Oh yeah, we play this game, Caleb. If you want to guess what it's about,
What was the title again?
A Story to
No,
Die
you can't
For.
type it in like I'm doing. You
No,
have
no,
to.
I'm just thinking. A Story to Die For. Well, story. Jessica Fletcher, writer. I think this is finally Steve's reveal. Yeah. We are going to learn that Jessica is, writer and murderer. That's my guess.
I
typing
think
it right now.
my guess is that
I think my typing
Jessica
is really loud.
is writing a children's book. It involves a small woodland creature like a mouse, and goes on a murderous spree, and so that's
If only it was
It's-
about.
Well, that would be wrong.
Oh,
that would be wrong. Okay.
I was gonna say if only it was about cats, it would be called Felidae. A great book about cat murder investigation. Yeah,
Oh.
highly recommend.
What's it called?
Felidae. Yeah, a cat murder mystery. I think it's even called a novel of cats and murder.
Huh. So I'm looking at who's in this, and I'm going to be completely honest. I only recognize one name, and that's Daniel Day Kim, who was in Lost.
Oh man, he's so hot.
Um,
Love that guy.
Richard Crenna is in this. Oh yeah, I wouldn't say no.
I would say yes.
Stephen
yes,
Culp.
yes. Sorry, the booze. Keep going. Goddamn.
Yeah, I don't.
Stephen
recognize it.
Culp is in this. I wonder if he's related to Richard Culp. But this is the synopsis. Jessica Fletcher, and then it says in parentheses, Dame Angela Lansbury.
There you go. Yeah.
Puts her sleuthing skills to work at a writers' conference after Russian author Yuri blah 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 is found.
We've already
murdered.
seen this. Holy cow! No, this
No,
is
we
the.
haven't.
No, we have. It's not this specific episode, but the story. We've seen it with.
You're thinking of an Egg to Die For.
Yes.
with-
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Where there was this random book conference and this guy had a Fabergé egg. And I remember doing research on Fabergé eggs for this after I watched it because I was really interested. And
Yeah, there was sure a craze for those for a while. Those Fabergé eggs. See,
Yeah.
they're popping up everywhere.
There's only like 50 something. Like there's like 50 something real Fabergé eggs. And all the rest are like Franklin Mint imitations, like in Serial Mom.
There you go.
Franklin Mint. That you could order out the back page of a magazine, and
Somehow I knew it would come back to Serial Mom. Yeah.
like the live monkey that you could order.
God, who did that?
60s. Gilbert Gottfried would always talk about it. Like, why the fuck? You're going to send in $5. They're going to send you a live spider monkey. And they did. And,
my
like, it
God.
would always die.
It was.
Yeah.
It'd be dead. What a
I
horrible
know.
way to go! Could you imagine being put into a Amazon box with bubble wrap
You know-
all around you and?
Yeah. You know, I'm not a PIA member. I eat meat and all that. But I'm going to...
Yeah, there's a line.
I'm gonna be, yeah. There's a line,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's not it. Killing animals for like movies, killing animals for fun. Obviously, even hunting. I'm not even a fan, although I understand there's a need for it. But all right, so that's what we'll watch next time.
So, Caleb,
So-
before we go, tell us a little bit more about you and where our readers can find more about you.
Well, you can find me and Sean and Steve on the Novice Elitist podcast. Every now and again, you guys pop up. I also do a show with Eric. We do a Star, or actually, Sean, you've been on it, the Star Trek podcast, Romulans Bearing Gifts.
Yes.
And Sean again, also on Doctor Who, Mostly Harmless Cutaway with me and Eric, and Prognosis Negative. I think that also has a Doctor Who in front of it, although it's just about movies. It doesn't really make sense, but
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
and then I also do one for Avatar: Last Airbender called Bending the Elements. So too many.
Really?
shows. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, we do it similar to your
And-
style, where we actually like go through scene by scene. I like that format for TV. So
I often. It's a really good question. I go back and forth, and I think it depends on who your co-host is. But
very fair.
yeah. Well, I have enjoyed this a lot. I don't know how long we've been recording. All I know is that I don't have any edits to do. But it turns out that this was. I'm serious. The thing is, we were going to record about The Thing, And I think this may have been more fun to talk about.
Oh,
than the
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it could have been.
Oh,
yeah.
I think Caleb was concerned that we weren't going to have enough, like, it was not enough stuff to talk about. I'm like, this is going to go on for a few hours minimum, for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I guess whenever you guys have guests on, it goes a bit longer than your usual shows.
Yes, 4 hours one time.
Oh, yes. The first guest, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I love that this was just turned out to be your first episode. Well, not your first episode ever of watching it, but like your first episode maybe as an adult. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Because it's just so quirky and weird. And this
As opposed
is
to his
not
first
the-
episode as a child. Okay.
This is not the usual way Murder, She Wrote works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still there. And I hate Joe. And I wish she was the dead one.
Flo.
So
Joe?
Flo, sorry.
See, this is Sean, just like his grandpa.
Damn.
Flo, there's too foreign. Put a J in front.
Johnny, I wish Johnny was dead.
Exactly, there you go.
Yeah, my grandma would, like, when she called you by your name, she'd go through all the other names in the family. Well, Sharon, Gail, Sean, Carl, Crink, Sean.
I do
Look,
that
I've
now.
been around a long time. All right, everybody. Well, say goodnight, Steve and Caleb.
Good night.
Right.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Cabot Cove Confab. If you've enjoyed it, please leave us a favorable review on Apple Podcasts. Also, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter at Cabot Cove Confab or email us at cabotcoveconfab@gmail.com.